it. And it's could potentially they don't exist, and so for what currently exists today,
it's just destroying the environment, right? I hear you.
I mean, it's just mining. It's just using more cement, more raw metals, and putting that in ecosystems that exonerate any habitable life, and additionally for humans as well.
The biggest obstacle towards people being against Israel or Jews is that Jews made themselves like hard to not like.
Right. So let me jump in. One of the things that you would probably agree with me on, like there are things that I hear my quote unquote tribe say that I think do not serve us. For example, no news, like no Jews, no news, right? Like there's a way of it's almost like a backhanded compliment of making us this quote unquote chosen entity that is not helping our cause. If most of our population was comprised mostly of highly impoverished people, it would be a different story. But it's hard for people. There is resentment in a class. There is a resentment toward a class of people who are overrepresented in some areas, and that doesn't mean that they should be targets. By no means am I suggesting that. But
I agree.
It doesn't make it easy for us to go out and say, poor me, or we're struggling, or we're targets, when we see news stories of some of our members, like Jared Kushner or whomever, who are not representing us best. Now, me just saying that alone has a bit of an, I suppose, anti-Semitic flair. It wasn't intended to, but I try to be as much of an outsider as possible because I didn't spend life. I grew up, as you guys know, around in a Jewish community, but I didn't spend my whole adult life there. So I think I don't have a better perspective, but I have a different perspective. And if I were to say one thing slightly negative, I would be crucified. Worse is exactly what I'm saying, right? Like I can't. If I'm trying to be honest about things that I see and authentic, I will be crucified.
No, I see things like pretty much the same way you do. And I like you. I think you're a very honest person. I'm not like. Here's the weird thing: is like I would never tolerate people abusing or terrorizing Jews or fucking with them or any of that shit. Like I'm totally. But you do have. But it's just like one of the things is kind of like okay, Israel has been. This is one of the problems I have with Trump. I think he's the one president they have that they realize he could be the last president for many years, or perhaps the last president ever that will be as pro-Israel as he is, and Israel's they're going to utilize him for whatever that he has, and and we can look at the people that are close to him. I don't need to name the names, but I just feel like it's I don't know if it's even necessarily in their best interest at the end of the day.
Can I offer another example? So, like, my brother was in town from Miami, and he's not like he's too busy with his kids to ever get in these kinds of political conversations. Like, it wouldn't even occur to him. But he heard someone say something about he heard someone mention something anti-Semitic to somebody else, and the way he responded to it, I just talked to him today. It just was part of a lunch. We were having lunch, and it was like, oh, that's not good. Like, he didn't take it like he didn't jump out of his fucking clothes. I'm not saying that his style is appropriate because he's not necessarily as informed, maybe. But the people that are on Clubhouse are particularly sensitized. And then when you see it in the media being reinforced all the time, we think that it's like this topic number one for everybody. And quite frankly, it's just not. Like, even people in the Jewish community, only the voices that we hear. Like, I'm on Facebook and I see people going nuts out of, oh my God, something anti-Semitic, and they flip out. But I think most Jewish people aren't that engaged, right? And it's this group that's so sensitive that sometimes that's not helping, right?
I have a question. I agree. I have a question for the room. I mean, since we're talking about Trump and shit, right? We understand that TDS is a real thing, right? A lot of us have seen that shit in real time, right? There's no denying TDS exists. Do y'all think IDS is a real thing? Israel derangement syndrome? Well, motherfuckers, that's all they fucking talk about. They can't talk about nothing else. Right? And the reason why I ask that question is because the average person, talk to the average person off the internet in real life, they're not talking about fucking Israel. Right? Like, the guy that just goddamn, that he does lawn care. Right? He's not getting off of fucking work and looking at his fucking check or checking his mailbox when he pull up at home and he sees a fucking final notice or some shit on a trash bill that got paid and saying, fucking Israel. I fucking hate Israel. He's not basing all of that shit on fucking, he's not even thinking about goddamn Israel. Or the fucking mechanic that is about to rebuild a fucking transmission and a part doesn't fucking come in on time. He's not gonna blame fucking Israel. No shit like that.
Bro, this is just like, a ridiculous code. This is like saying, well, none of your family were on the Epstein list.
Well, buddy,
you don't know anything.
Listen to what I'm saying before you.
Nobody you know was a victim.
Buddy, listen to my own
I know what you're doing.
Hey,
you're not smart enough to know.
Please, can you please shut the fuck up while I finish my point? Right. How about you do that then, right?
But actually,
so I'm asking people of the room, do they think that IDS is a real thing when they hear people talk about Israel the way that they do?
Is it possible that their behavior justifies the response that they get?
Adrian, I would say my acronym is ASS, Anti-Semitism Sensitivity Syndrome. Or like you're talking about.
Yeah, the difference is, that's important what the gentleman just said is that if Jewish people focused on the anti-Semitism that was far more direct, yes, maybe that would be more helpful, right? But by talking about Israel, it's almost like, well, you let people talk about a proxy issue that is indirectly anti-Semitic, but it doesn't make most sense to most people. So it's like, it's just weird. I'd rather people kind of have the argument about like the outright anti-Semitism that's very direct and targeting Jewish people, because it's like then you can actually have the argument and have the game. But when you bring Israel into it, it really complicates it.
Yeah, so like FEMA having questions about Lebanon, people being displaced, FA having concerns about how the war started, me asking questions and then being labeled a Jew hater. That's from that sensitive. Like, but there are people that are anti-Semitic for real. But yeah, focus on those people. Those are the real ones.
Well, and also, like, if I could understand, like, if I said I hate Rome, I hate the Vatican, and that was kind of my proxy argument for suggesting that I don't like Catholics. Like, unless someone really knows the history of the region and Catholicism in depth, like, it's too confusing. It's too Jews. So it'd be far better that I said, okay, maybe I don't like Catholics for this reason or whatever, and it's a little bizarre to me because the Middle East by itself is so complex and layered in terms of Israeli-Arab issues, racism.
I don't think you've been to you haven't been to synagogue. I'm joking. Being an anti-Semite is not a big something that dislikes Jews. An anti-Semite is someone that Jews don't like.
Not exactly.
Anybody that explain the difference. Don't like it's they label them anti-Semite.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's not someone who verbally says that they don't like Jews. Because as you were saying, you can criticize Israel. I don't like what you're anti-Semitic, but you do anything whatsoever that's perceived to inhibit of the tribe from doing blood. You're an anti-Semite. Right. Being anti-Semite.
Can I ask a question?
Can you ask a question?
Yes.
Yes.
What is the word that the Jewish use against other people? Is it goyim?
Goyim shit is fucking retarded, dude. I forget the name of the term. So they refer to themselves as goyim, but they also use it's basically to say that goyim is basically like nation or some shit.
It means the nation.
I thought it was a
Nation. So in other words, goyim. Hold on. So can a Jew on the stage like tell me what is the term Jews refer to themselves as when it comes to goyim?
There's like a holy nation. So
I said Jew. You're not a Jew.
I know. Maybe one of those uses.
Are you talking about a slang term, or are you talking about
So like a goyim. And by the way, when Hollywood first fucking started, they would mock themselves. And like terms like, oh, goyim got the gold. And this was like a form of self-flagellation that they would do, where they would make fun of themselves. And fun of it, a largely goyim audience. Goy is not an offensive term.
They sure seem the way Epstein used it like it was I thought it almost meant maggot.
No. This is fucking retarded. It's because you want to see it as a certain way. Like if I thought that they were using it, as a derogatory slur, and look, I use cunt, nigger, chink, gook, whatever, bullshit that, I troll and like, a lot of it's in a comedic and satirical way, but I use these slurs that I don't have a problem with offending people, but when I'm having an actual, like, honest conversation, it's just like, okay, so they have this word, which, there's a word they use before goy to refer to themselves, and goy just means like you're a nation other than men.
Okay, and I have one more question. They believe in the same God as in the Bible, correct?
We are here in the United States has the top tier in terms of technology and weapons manufacturing, and I understand that there was or is, I don't know, the Treaty of Non-Proliferation for nuclear weapons. I don't understand why that couldn't be expanded to missiles or interballistic missiles. And I don't know anything about the complex geopolitical stature of every country working together, but if you don't have the supply, it's kind of hard to implement anything. But I just think that's just my take on it. It's highly incentivized. The economy, all of these contractors are highly incentivized to just get a contract. There are people that's their only job. Anyway, I digress. fossil fuels are not good for the environment. This is a lost man's game. We're fighting over a resource that's going to destroy ecosystems. We acknowledge that, right? I would assume that we would acknowledge that.
It's a source of tremendous wealth. It's their only source, I think, for Iran.
Yeah, and market incentives aren't the primary driving force of how governments should collaborate and work together to ensure that there's peace.
No, the economy is obviously the driving force. And yeah, profits over people, that's it.
So I need to correct you guys, it's only about 30% of the Iranian GDP coming from oil, gas, and oil byproducts. The rest is other things. Despite what you guys are talking, that's not correct.
Well, what else do they have, and what else are they able to do given the sanctions and the air war?
So Iran has, beside oil and gas, they export,
Agricultural.
they also have lots of minerals, the kind of
Copper.
They're the first or second largest pistachio exporters.
Yeah, and they do copper and fertilizers like urea and stuff, and minerals for agricultural products. So like all the commercial growing.
The true market incentives are for government, for aerospace and defense companies to make contracts with the Department of Defense. That's what I was saying. That's what drives. That's the driving force. In the absence of that, none of this could be implemented. There should be a non-proliferation treaty, not just for nuclear weapons, but also for ballistic missiles or anything in that category. But
what
that's
missiles
convoluted.
is not, what you're saying is not correct. Ballistic missile is under any sort of, international limitation. There's nothing like
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There ought to be. There is not. That's the point of contention. That there isn't. We don't even. I don't know if the International Atomic Energy Agency I don't even know if it's still true that we have a non-proliferation of nuclear weapons treaty for the United Nations, because I don't know where the United States even stands on that, or any other country for that matter. And that ought to exist, because it doesn't. Right? I mean, I don't
It's
think
good, but also we have to be realistic in that our values and what how we see the world is not universal, and to expect other cultures and regions, and I don't know if this is going to sound, but I'm from this region. It's not. Not everybody's on the same board. Not everybody's on the same page. We're not even reading the same book. Half of the world is watching a movie.
They're 200, but they're 295 or 195. That's a large margin. I think 195 countries, and I don't know how many are member states of the United Nations. But that's the gold standard. That ought to be the gold standard of every government coming together in one organization to democratically vote for the world as their citizens did for their country. The countries need to represent the world in the United Nations, right?
I believe in sovereignty and individualism. I'm not so much of a collectivist and global. I do believe that countries can retain their sovereignty and their laws and have the autonomy to manage and govern their own people as they see fit, within reason, obviously. But I don't actually think that the UN is the gold standard, and I don't actually think that there should be a global governing body that has any jurisdiction within the sort of borders of a sovereign nation.
I mean, the Paris Climate Agreement, you wouldn't say that is a collaborative effort that the world, that countries need to collaborate together to ensure that something like that maintains pace, even though
We're in a very
we
different.
from that Paris Climate Agreement. No, it's still getting warmer. I mean, we're gonna have 2 degrees Celsius in.
But Morgan, I live in a country that bans plastic straws, but is also ironically the largest producer of plastic straws. So in Canada, we sell plastic straws to the world, but they're actually banned here because of the turtles. So it's just, we're told in Canada we pay carbon taxes, but our government is also building a gas pipeline across half of this fucking country and destroying half. The fucking, so what the fuck? Why do we care? Why do I care about the turtles if my own government doesn't? I really don't. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't at this point. I just feel like it's all a little bit of a grift.
Most of the United Nations countries are not democracies. They're mostly totalitarian dictatorships or despots. There's one country, that's the United States, that's defending the idea of the rule of law, the freedom of the waterways, as we're seeing right now, the freedom of the internet. The world financial system is completely run through the United States and its control. So all of these things that we value, that we take for granted right now, are being defended by the United States.
Wait, I mean,
The only adversary is China. And the thing we did in Venezuela and the thing that we're doing in Iran are both directed at one adversary only, and that's China, to impede their access to oil, which they need, which they can't produce enough of, and to prevent them from expanding in Asia, which is their intention. This is all about the United States defending its hegemony, which I think is a good thing, by the way.
I see. Okay. That's so terrible.
Not that
I guess my standards are low. But as 175 member states to the UN, I mean,
Yeah.
United Kingdom, you say that's a totalitarian.
No, not Europe.
You say the majority. You didn't have to say that the majority of countries in the world.
Right, are not
Yes.
democracies.
Yes.
Most countries are not
But
democracies.
that doesn't necessarily mean that nations is represent totalitarian governments. It just happens to be
It doesn't really matter that much. It's sort of symbolic. The thing that matters is the Security Council, and maybe somebody could help me. That's the United States, China, Russia, France, England, which are the post-World War II things, and maybe there's another couple. Those are the only ones that really count.
I think it started out as a very.
in terms of voting rights.
Okay, I'm back. She's voting for the SAVE Act, by the way.
Wow. We probably won't be able to know what her name is or anything.
No, but I don't think I want to say it.
No, of course not.
Let me think about
Anonymity
that.
is important.
No, I mean, no, it's fine. I mean, she wouldn't have talked if she needed to be incognito. But no, I will tell you. Her name is Susie Lee, and she is a Democrat here in Nevada. And she's a great congresswoman, like just great. So is Billy still in here? No, Billy met her. Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that was kind of funny.
Does she have a Mac or a Windows? This is random, but I feel like a lot of government officials primarily have Windows computers.
No, whenever I've been with her, she's been Mac and Apple stuff. So I don't know what she has in her office, but I've seen her with Mac stuff. I don't know what they use in, they may use something in the Capitol that's different. Maybe the operating systems are different. So I might have to plead ignorance on that. But I can tell you what designers she wears. I mean, that one I can.
Who does she wear?
It's a question of we're looking at dresses or shoes or
Dresses and shoes.
She's very funky. She dresses in beautiful clothing, but it's really with like a funky, fun edge to it. Yeah. Anyway, what did you guys decide on the SAVE Act? In favor of it, Morgan? Did they convince you?
Oh. I think there's a consensus amongst.
I mean, voter ID is what everyone's in favor of, but it's kind of like I understand the issue that we don't have a lot of non-citizens voting. So are we, in the argument she was saying, are we fixing something that isn't an issue? And on the other hand, it's the concept of going up to the polls and not having identification most of the country is uncomfortable with. So I don't know, we'll see how this all shakes out. But you know, it sounds like the Dems are split on it.
We were talking about nuclear non-proliferation, Abby, and I was pointing out that right now, this is not about nuclear non-proliferation. It's about sort of values.
Over TV on ice.
10 years ago, like climate change. This is now about American hegemony and defense, which I support, to be clear. In terms of defending the world financial system, the freedom of the waterways, the rule of law, the internet, which runs through our oceans, the flow of oil, and it's about the competition between the United States and China. And both Venezuela and Iran are in China, Venezuela was, and Iran is in China's camp, and we want to change that balance of power by getting control of Iran and making it our friend instead of our enemy. Not taking its oil away, but keeping it from supporting our enemy, China, which wants to expand in the Pacific. Singapore is threatened, Japan is threatened, even North is threatened. Like China has its eyes on growing. So that was something that I was getting from the Hoover Institution, especially from guys like Stephen Kotkin and Neil Ferguson and H.R. McMaster's a retired general. So that was my big theory.
But don't you also think that it goes back to just basic history of our country, and we can go back to the Barbary Wars, or just our need to not control, but protect the free flow of commerce through the world. And I mean, that's like, our friend wrote a book about it, by the way, called, it's a very long book. I'm just going to warn you, it's really thick. It's called Power, Faith, and Fantasy. And it's the history of the United States in the Middle East.
I like it, but it's a little rambling. Nothing is going to ever compare to the 6-Day War.
No, I know. But I mean, the point is, our country's history has been policing those trade routes and policing. I don't want to use the word policing, but it's kind of what's coming to my head. But it's protecting is probably a safer word. So it's not securing it, but it's not new for us. And that's the part that when you hear all the arguments on this, I mean, you just think that people study U.S. history. I mean, it's just been there throughout. I mean, he highlights throughout the years as we've sent forces in or we protected those areas. But weren't the Barbary Wars kind of about that too?
Well, yeah, they were taking European and American sailors as slaves in North Africa. That's what started the Marines, and that's where you get that song, From the Holes of Montezuma to the Shores of Tripoli. They were taking our sailors to Tripoli and enslaving them in the late 18th century. So, yeah. So that's my theory, though. This is about American hegemony and control of oil. And it's sort of interesting because I don't think any other president would have done this. So it would have been a slow drip, and Iran would have continued to threaten its neighbors with the proxy terror groups, and China would have continued its Belt and Road Initiative, secretly gaining control even in our hemisphere. Remember controlling both ends of the Panama Canal, buying up property even in Israel and Africa. And then one day we wake up and we realize China has us surrounded and even has inroads into our backyard. There's another diplomat that we hang out with sometimes whose name is Yoram Ettinger, who knows quite a bit about how Hezbollah is collaborating with the Mexican drug cartels and building tunnels under the border with Mexico. And Venezuela was helping them. I mean, the enemy was at our back door and we were sort of not talking about it. This is not conspiracy theory or alarmism. This is true. People don't want to believe it or hear it.
But it's also looking at the control of, when you look at the control of the waterways and the ports that are being built and controlled by China throughout North Africa and the Middle East and around the world. And by the way, I mean, this was something I heard Marsha Blackburn do a speech about, that there's that fear that Chinese companies were managing airports, like Long Beach, California, that huge port. The company that was running management there was Chinese. So they were, I don't know if they passed legislation, but she was talking about introducing legislation to halt the Chinese companies from managing U.S. ports. To the same extent, there was a question around military facilities that were buying up land. I don't know if you're following that. Yeah, but they have a lot of control of ports around the world.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
It's an issue.
It's an issue, but it's a problem in the U.S. for them to be managing our ports here.
Yes. They're buying up our land. It's weird, again, that it took somebody as forthright as Trump, and Rubio really seems to be on board with this. Like, he gets it so fast. He's like a natural for this, that we have to reverse a lot of these trends. And now is the time.
So we talked a couple of weeks ago about the reasons, and if you remember, I mentioned about China need about 16 million barrels a day, and we provide about 1.9 million barrels a day export to China. But because of this, we still get very cheap. So we cannot get money in exchange. So what China does, we sell with a discount about like 20 to 30% of the actual value of the daily market of the oil. And they provide us credit. In return, we go and buy Chinese junk. We import it. On top of that, we have to use Chinese vessels to import it back to Iran. So China has a golden goose that doesn't want to lose. So for Trump, it makes sense to cut China and from Iranian oils and make doing business for China more expensive. Because if you compare it with 400,000 barrels of oil that Venezuela was selling them, at the time was selling for $30 and 50 cents when oil was trading about $45. So it's the same scenario with us as well. So that's one part of it, but it's not the one dimensional just that he's playing. It's also securing Israel is the other part of it. But the biggest thing is cutting China and doing business for China more expensive.
Maybe I'm just interjecting. Maybe I'm just a pacifist, which is radical. But in 1941, 2,200 service members died at Pearl Harbor. If you read in history books, and then 9/11, 2,800 Americans die. We go and kill 3.5 million Japanese. And then we go and kill about 400,000 people in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's preposterous. And I can't imagine how you would feel if another country's military came to your land and occupied it and policed it. on your behalf.
Morgan, your numbers are off. Your numbers are way off. World War II,
We got
like,
Muslim on Morgan. She seems really stupid.
yeah, like more.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. I apologize.
No. I'm just gonna help you with this. World War II, the amount of people that died in World War II is, is what, 11 million? Someone help me on my number there. Maybe 12 million total in World War II. And so we killed 200,000 Japanese in Nagasaki, Hiroshima to end the war. And how many? I don't know who's doing the cricket sound, but like that's so uncool.
Must be great.
So the total Japanese estimate that I can cite is not 2 to 3.5 million. It is larger than that or smaller than
No,
that?
I'm saying the total in World War II of deaths during that war. You have to add all that up, and then to say, well, why did we kill this many? Why did this many people die? You're not realizing how many people actually died in that war. How many the Germans killed? I mean, in the camps alone, probably. There's probably 8 million died in the camps. Norm probably knows the number better than I do on that. I mean, you total all of that up, and had we not done anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the United States is not responsible for the amount of deaths, casualties that have occurred. And
Absolutely. Why would
That's
we're
not
on into? Well, first of all, my father fought in World War II against the Japanese in the Solomon Islands. So I've part of my whole life growing up. They attacked us. They attacked us on our soil, and their intent, what the Japanese intent was and had they won, or what the German intent was, and had Hitler continued his path, we stopped it. So yes, there's a cost of the casualty cost, but the other side of that, could you imagine what the world? Who knows if we even have a world?
If the Japanese, quote unquote, won.
If the Imperial Japanese, yes, and if Hitler had continued to go throughout Europe and through North Africa or through Africa and through the Middle East, his intent, his path was pretty clear. I just don't understand why.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe Hitler would have?
Maybe I'm not very antiquated with the 40s, but
You're in college, maybe? You're in college still? Do you take U.S. history? Do you take American history or world history? Just take a world history course.
Yeah, but in Iraq and Afghanistan, that as well. I just don't believe that I don't believe in eye for an eye.
Okay, so Iraq, we were living with the world was living with the venomous evil of Saddam Hussein for 22 years. How many years did he just threaten the world, and we had to deal with, all of his evil? So you can say, well, Iraq didn't make sense to you, but Saddam Hussein was a threat. He shot Scud missiles just as we're seeing the ballistic missiles going now. He tortured his people and other nations. There was some evil actors that have happened throughout world history.
Yeah, that's an individual, but you're saying there's a group and of people.
I'm going to sleep. I'm bottling you up. Shut it down. Once you're done, you're responsible for
Got
this. Yallah. Good night.
Yalla.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Who's been talking with you, Rafi? Aziz the I don't see you, Rafi.
Yeah. Those guys.
I apologize. I don't appreciate being called stupid, although
I didn't call you
admit
stupid.
I
I'm not calling you stupid. I'm telling you
No,
that
someone else did. I think.
it's really helpful.
And I don't want to say this because I didn't finish my enlistment, but I was in the United States Marine Corps, and I have family. I separated because of just ethical concerns. I just couldn't do it, and I have family in Damascus, Syria, and I can't believe organized violence is so large, and I don't understand.
Morgan, you have family.
Individual to individual.
You have family in Damascus, and they lived under Assad, correct? They lived under the Assad regime.
Yes.
And how evil was the Assad regime, and what he did to the citizens of Syria? Oh my God!
Okay, well, but okay.
Chemical weapons on his own people.
First of all, weirdly, so my grandmother and my grandfather, they supported him for some reason. Okay, but and okay, as contentious as that is, but regardless, what country would you designate to come to take any of our presidents that they deem as
well, they have tried. Iran had just tried. Iran had an assassination plot against our president and against our members of our cabinet and against our ambassadors from other nations. I mean, we've foiled how many assassination attempts that they had as a foreign government against our president. So yes, it just happened just in our lifetime in the last year. So
well, I'm just trying to say, whatever the solution is you want to say in terms of legislation, public policy, in terms of geopolitical whatever, minimizing civilian casualties or just minimizing casualties in general should be the number one point of concern. And I don't think that
what would you have done in Syria, Morgan?
What
would you have done in Syria?
Or you guys want to just talk to each other?
Go ahead. You can go right ahead. I'm actually.
It's not
You get a chance to talk when you guys going non-stop, so I'm just.
We weren't actually talking about Iran right now, although the rooms have all been about Iran. Actually, Morgan was talking about other countries.
I was talking about the U.S. military-industrial complex, Lockheed Martin, and the entire force behind the United States military and how extremely large it is, and maybe if it's
Morgan, I hear you. I hear you. But as a Jewish person, God bless the U.S. military complex, and God bless the U.S. military for shutting down Hitler and shutting down the annihilation of an entire ethnicity and religion. God bless the U.S. military for going and liberating the camps and allowing us to live. I mean, I can't praise it enough. So, I'm coming from a completely opposite place than you are. I see the U.S. military, I thank them for their service, and they're here to protect, my ability to live freely in this country and have my liberties, because it was up to some of the foreign actors, especially those of us who lived through 9/11, we wouldn't have those liberties. They came here to take us down. They came here to destroy us, and they started, right in the heart of our financial district. They hit us in our heart. They were going after, obviously, the Pentagon, and also the Capitol had that plane knock on down in Pennsylvania. So it's not foreign to us. And yes, I'm older. I've lived through all this. But I can't thank the military enough. If not for the U.S. military, we Jews that you're talking to now, or some of us, we wouldn't be here now. We would have been walled up by Hitler.
I have no argument against that.
Let me keep going. That same military, I grew up in Philadelphia. Okay, that same military, we had a revolution, fought for our country. I mean,
yes, but there's been a lot of civilians. There's been a lot of humans on this planet that have died because of any military. any country's military. You know, I think like not partaking in.
Well, how do you not partake when they want to kill you?
I have never had anyone want to kill me.
Well, we have.
In terms of
Wait.
You know, Morgan, I'm really happy for you because from what you say, I understand that you have never ever lived under a tyranny for even one day. That's why you're saying those things because you have never ever experienced it. I'm an Iranian. I've lived under that kind of government.
Sorry.
So, what you're saying when you talk about some monster like Bashar Assad?
I didn't say he's a monster. I never said that.
No, I said Bashar Assad. I said it. It's a monster.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Let her finish. Go ahead.
You didn't say that, and you just think he was just a president like any presidents. But he wasn't. He was a monster. But you just can't understand that because you have never, ever experienced such a thing.
And before he was a monster, Saddam Hussein was a monster, and Gaddafi was a monster.
I understand that, okay? We don't like elected officials. I just want to say that I was in the Marine Corps.
Elected officials?
Unelected officials, whatever, I apologize. Totalitarian governments. I mean, but there would need to be a country to assassinate our president, and I don't believe any country should do that. I don't believe that there should be assassinations of any person.
Well,
nobody deserves to die. Like, you can throw them in prison, but you shouldn't kill them.
Grateful to Trump and Israel for killing our supreme leader. I'm really grateful for that. I can't thank them more.
I just don't believe anybody should die. No human should die.
No human should die, is what you're saying, but they want you to die. But they want you to die.
The killer die.
Well, then that's.
Do you know?
Monster die.
Thank you, Masha. Why don't you give her a little window? Hold on, Morgan. Masha, why don't you give her a window into some of the lovely things that have happened?
No, I don't want to talk about that. Forget it. I'm a pacifist. I don't believe in war. That's weird. I apologize. Too many humans have died in the hands of.
What about torture? How do you feel about torture?
I'm done talking about this. I'm losing, and I submit that you guys are a lot more intellectual, cognitive. I'm really basing this on just a moral standpoint as a pacifist.
Let me explain to you. So in the last 47 years in my home country, Iran, we have tried numerous times all democratic paths to reform the government, overthrow them, and all we saw was an iron fist. They killed people, they tortured them, and they abused our resources to spread death through the world. So we are a very proud nation. We've been around the world for thousands and thousands of years. We are old civilization, and for a proud country like us, do you know how difficult it is that I would be okay with a foreign country bomb my country? I just want you to think about it. How difficult.
Well, I'm not. I just believe people exist on the planet. Like, I'm not tied to a country.
Look, I let you talk, and let me explain it to you. At least you hear from from Iranian perspective, who lived in the United States half of his life. So let me explain to you what I have experienced and what it is. It's not what you hear from all this RGC paid supporter you see in Clubhouse or on social media. Forget those. Let me tell you, as somebody who experienced it himself, it is not what you see. It was a very difficult decision for us to let a foreign country bomb us. But we were desperate. We had no other option. We had a peaceful demonstration 2 months ago, and they killed somewhere between 15 to 40 something thousand people. We don't know the exact number because there's no free press in Iran. But I would say if I go with the bare minimum, 15 15,000 people, unarmed civil people, young, old, from infant got shot with military-grade weapon. They use dushka.
Exactly.
I would, if you're military, you know what is dushka. Is a Russian machine gun. It shoots 60 bullets per second. Each bullet is as big as my thumb. It can pass through 10 bodies. It's used for hitting heavy machinery, not human body. These animals, they use it for hitting women, children, old, young. They didn't care. They want to stay in power at any price. So it is very difficult for me to see United States destroying my country. I didn't sign up for getting to see that they hit civilian infrastructures. And I'm not okay with it. Because my thought was, okay, they're going to kill the RGC members, they're hitting military infrastructures, but I was not expecting to see they hitting schools, universities, hospitals, manufacturing. A lot of things getting destroyed, and I'm not personally okay with it, but I know people in Iran, they say, if this is going to cause the mullahs to topple, we're going to be okay with it. But I think what is happening right now is a little bit beyond that. I think United States going after completely destroying the economy in Iran because they do not have an actual plan. Because they were estimating the regime would be overthrown by now. Because there's no justification for hitting, heavy industry that has no direct link to the RGC weapon system. Like the other day, they hit a facility who makes metals. They didn't completely destroy it, but yes, some of the sheet that they produce there, it could be used in missiles, but they already destroyed a factory. So when you do not have a factory, that bigger factory would not do any good for IRGC, but they still destroy that. So it is a lot for us to take, but we're still hopeful that maybe this would lead to overthrow the regime.
I think just mission to mission based, the specific details of a war, whether it's justified or not, I can't argue on that. The only thing I can say is essentially that I believe, and this is theoretical, I guess, it's not how the world works, that aerospace and defense companies should be held liable, there should be treaties that essentially ensure that the manufacturing of these weapons are limited.
It's not going to happen.
If you say it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen.
Because we have laws. It's because we have laws that give immunity to gun manufacturers, to weapon manufacturers. It's not our law. It's not changing anytime soon. I mean,
I'm not talking about
gun lobby, by example, which would be an easier one to change than the munitions companies have not. The anti-gun lobby hasn't been able to change the manufacturer immunity laws, and they've tried. So
therefore, there's no point.
It's not how it works. And by the way, so many of the weapons are defensive weapons. Do you have a problem with building air defense systems? I mean, you should be told that we have air defense systems, right? That we're defending all these nations. We have the joint programs with Raytheon and Rafael Industries that created Iron Dome and David Sling and the Arrow defense system, and how the Patriot system works. That's defense systems. You should be doing freaking cartwheels that those defense systems exist and they're keeping you nice and safe in Wichita. Because let me finish, Morgan, those ballistic missiles, those long-range ballistic missiles coming out of Tehran, they're looking right at Wichita. That's
and then we're looking right at them. It's called GAD.
No. We're not looking right at them. We're building air defense systems. Now we're taking our big heavy bombs, and you know what we just bombed? Go look at the news because it just happened. We just took out a whole bunch of ballistic launchers and ballistic missiles. That's what we're taking out. Our air defense systems are protecting us and protecting other nations. All the neighbors, like how many, 11, 12 nations that they shot into? But we're getting rid of their launchers and their delivery systems. There's a big difference. There's a major difference, and you're not looking at it that way. And you should be absolutely thrilled.
I don't think it's us versus them.
Because they're aiming right at Wichita. If they could, they'd take out Middle America so fast. And long-range missiles, you know, I mean, that's what you should be concerned with.
But the missiles were manufactured here.
No, they weren't. They were manufactured in
There's
Russia.
all other countries as well, but a lot of them.
But they're not shooting
to them.
They're not shooting U.S. missiles. Please.
Yeah, Morgan, I wonder, does the U.S. use its weapons against its own people? Have they ever shot you in your streets? Have they slaughtered you? Have they tortured you and raped you for just being having some opinions against them?
No, but they have to other people.
Who
It doesn't matter who those people are.
What did Monica just say? Who in the U.S. got raped and butchered and thrown and beat up because their hair was coming out of a hijab? Please tell me. Who in the U.S., because they've had an opinion against the government, have been tortured and butchered?
You can see
in the United States.
You can see the same.
When has the U.S. government? She asked you a question. I'm going to help her with her question. When has the U.S. government taken a group of citizens in the United States in your lifetime and done that to them because they disagree with the United States?
Okay. Black people is not my lifetime, but every African American was.
Every African American.
Okay, most. Whatever you want to
Every
say.
African American right now in your lifetime having an opinion against the United States. That's what's happening to them. Come on, Morgan, you're smarter than. Do you understand what you're also
disenfranchised black
very
people.
disingenuous to Masha, who's lived through a system.
Morgan, it is kind of insulting, you know, by making such comparisons. You're insulting the pain of like millions of people.
I didn't know that. I just want less weapons to exist on this planet. That's all I
Let me
want.
finish. You're making like a few black people that lost their lives in the U.S. You are trying to make it equal with slaughtering 40,000 people in 48 hours and make it sound the same. It's like you're just devaluing the lives of Iranian people. By
I apologize. I apologize if that's what you assumed. I just believe that there should be less weapons that exist on the planet.
Well, we
Maybe you believe that there should be more weapons. So why don't we work together to decrease the amount of weapons? Decrease the amount
That's
of
a
people.
great idea. Why don't you go talk to the mullahs and tell them that? Okay? That's a great idea. But we could have sat down with Hitler and asked him to stop exterminating us. That would have been great too. But it doesn't work that way. So you have to have defensive weapons. I don't know. Anyway, guys, Morgan, it's been fun.
I apologize.
No,
I apologize.
don't
I'm a
apologize.
pacifist. I don't believe in war. I apologize. I'm gonna go. I'm
Just
sorry.
do me a favor, because I
I was in the Marine Corps. I've been told shit all the time.
It's Jeff's house, so I've got to shut it down. But you're in college. Take a history of Western Civ or a world history class. Or World War II, you know, I was
It's not gonna change my ethical
I
stance.
didn't say it was going to change it, but learn it.
It changes.
World history, I love. I love world
So
history.
take it in college, it's great, and by the way, it'll help you in any career you have.
I love it. Thank you.
But anyway, guys, I'm gonna Masha, Ocean, guys, it's Jeff's house, so I'm gonna shut it down. Masha, thank you.
Everybody said he's scared of me.
With their missiles and watched them.
Trump's latest lie, this has come out in the last few hours, Trump's latest lie is that the Strait of Hormuz is now controlled by the United States.
What?
Well, this is interesting because technically they have warships in the Strait of Hormuz as well, right? And for the Russian, Chinese, and Iranian ships which have been successfully transiting the corridor over the last few weeks, keeping the trade going for China,
better understand and gain perspective. But I don't think I was at all brainwashed to believe things that people might assert today, right?
okay, what might they assert today?
Dr. Jordan, be a little cautious of where he's.
Okay, go ahead. You go ahead.
We can either just have.
No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Or do you have to engage?
Well, Abby can speak for me because Abby's far more entrenched in this.
But it's not about. It's about your understanding. So we've had a very.
But what I will present is a very naive perspective, whereas Abby is far formed.
That's precisely. I'm looking for the uninitiated. There's someone who is just that general understanding. I'm not a subject matter expert, someone with deep field knowledge. It's what is that general perception of the average.
Oh God, Dr. Jordan, have you ever been called average before?
No.
That's a first.
But he just told himself naive. So
Well, here's what I would say.
that is a characterization.
Here's what I would say is that I can remember not so much from curriculum, but from the news, right? So as someone who was born in the early 70s and grew up in the 80s and was bar mitzvahed in 1986, when I was at kind of the pinnacle of my Jewish education, if you will, I heard about bombings in Jerusalem, but from Hamas terrorists bombing buses in Jerusalem all the time. So for me, and that's evidentiary. I mean, that's evidence-based perspectivism. I understood Hamas and other and similar groups to be very hostile to Jewish people, and I never heard about Jewish people being hostile in the homeland of other people, and that's kind of a pivotal distinction. But I never heard about the Jordanian, I never heard Jews going after Jordanians, Egyptians, Syrians. I never heard them bombing buses. And when you're a kid and you hear about bombing a bus, you don't even want to go to Israel because you're like, wow, that could be me. So I'm giving you very raw.
So did you hear at all about Jews bombing British people?
I know of a very small number of instances where a Jewish population, a radical sect, has perpetrated incidental but important crimes, right? But by and large, weighing the evidence, it's like saying to me, do most school shootings happen in public schools or private schools? And without knowing for sure, my guess is public schools. And maybe this is a poor analogy, but that model comes to mind where I'm thinking, I'm probably safer in a private school. I'm not 100% safe. But when I think about being a Jew in an Arab state versus an Arab in a Jewish state, I think we, by and large, favor Arabs in a Jewish state. And when you talk about the only democracy in the Middle East, even though there are political issues, go ahead.
This is not it's
I'm not happy to speak for me.
It's not true.
No, he's trying to trick you. That's where he's going.
Of course.
He totally is.
What's the
Dr. Jordan, I can hear it, and I can tell by the questions.
Well, you have no idea. We've been having like a conversation.
Yeah, like I can pick it up. Like I kind of know how to pick up stuff like that.
So tell me then, what am I going to say next? Since you know I'm begging.
No, I'm not. I'll let you ask all the questions because you are being interrogated.
Now you're obstructing.
I'm not obstructing
People having
anything.
a perfectly. Well, then what are you doing at all?
Oh, I don't know. What was your next question?
What were you doing interrupting? Perfectly.
I don't know. I came in to say hello to Matt and Beaver and congratulate them on their new house.
You didn't actually say hello to them.
Well, that's why I came up on stage. Guys, this is great.
Thank you very much.
Everyone needs to follow it and cash in their pink tickets.
Please do. Thank you.
It is an secret organization that I am a part of. I was declared the King of Ireland.
I actually know how Israel came to be. Yeah. Oh, there's lots of.
You want
I don't
to
know,
say?
but before I do, Bima, how are you doing on your property law?
I am dug deep into. I haven't looked for myself yet. I'm still trying to figure out all the details, learning about you know what, but I dare not say right now.
Okay, just the magic word is fee, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't really come in to want to have a conversation about Jews or the state of Israel. I came in to just congratulate two wonderful people for the house.
Round of applause to that.
How do I join that? Where's the button to join
Yeah.
the group?
Dr. Jordan, with how many advanced degrees? Do you know how to deal with the pain ticket?
How do you
No,
know?
I don't.
All you do is you go up top, you see the President Trump, the actual name up there, Jordan.
Yeah.
And you click on that and you'll see join house. Or wait a minute. Something like that. Let me look.
See, it used to do that, but now it's even me in the chat.
A little bit. Let me see. I'll put it in the Google.
I was gonna ask him to please, if it's okay.
Well, it'll be interesting to continue this long conversation. Get distracted.
Let me just add one thing though.
Can we wrap this here?
Let me add one thing.
Fuck you.
So Colonel Turner,
I like this guy. Keep him around. Hold on.
before
Just wait your turn. We'll let you get it out.
really like me, which way? On the back side, the back doors?
Before Abby came into the room, we were talking about someone was mentioning that all Jewish people think alike in terms of their perspectivism on these issues that we're talking about.
Well, let me see. Dr. Jordan, do you and I think alike? I like my corned beef to be lean
That's amazing.
and cold, and I bet you like it
You want both of them?
thicker and probably New York style, like hotter. And I like it.
Explain it.
And how do you take your brisket? I do like your knedlach
You
to
see, just like
be.
you said yourself, knowing what I'm doing. I'm very simple.
How do you like your knedlach? Do you like it fluffy or chewy?
You see
Dr.
the
Jordan? You
misdirection?
think we agree with stuff?
that before.
See, because this guy has just got anger in him. You can. Yep.
Badgering the witness.
Didn't I tell you about my trip to Ireland where they lock up the Catholics at night?
That's amazing. Still?
Yeah.
Still looking up.
Yeah, in Belfast, they lock them up at night. It's amazing in Northern.
I have a question. Do you
What
think
would you
that
do
you
to
could be?
Palestinians?
Do you think you could be friends with everybody here on the stage? Just a quick question.
Hello, Republican Party. I am an Indian, but I want you.
Is this Kitover?
Hello. Hello, I am an Indian.
It could be.
Yeah.
I think so. That is what I call it.
So it would be powerful.
I don't know what that is.
Sounds like it's Kitover. Kitover, maybe.
I know. Just gotta like tap dance all the way from the actual point of time. We're trying to single you on Clubhouse. We're trying to single you on Clubhouse. So
Do you claim it?
Israel.
Do you actually claim being an anti-Semite?
I wonder.
And do you actually claim that or not?
I love my own people.
Who's your people?
Yeah, who's your people?
Is it not self-evident?
The gays.
No,
Yeah, that's
it's
that's
not.
right.
It's
I got
not
it.
self-evident.
I
Because
got it.
if you ask me who my people are, I would say you're my people. I'd say everybody on the stage is my people. So who's your people?
Well, I think that's naive.
I think that you're.
You see, it's amazing to try and flip this around.
No, like how can you say that that's naive?
It's just the issue at hand.
I think you're tribal. You're gonna pick specific people to be your people. Like why aren't we all each other's people?
Your PTR is Neo
Because some things don't
you
skew.
are
Because you're saying it. You're
Some
people.
things don't skew.
Because you just made a line. I asked you who your people are, and you're making well, the people who make lines are tribal. No, I don't. I don't make lines.
Do you lock your doors at night?
Yeah, I lock my doors at night, but I would lock my.
There's a line.
Hold on. No, that's listen. Listen.
It's a line.
If you lock your doors among your own people.
They're far right now.
Okay, so you're idiot. I lock my doors because of criminals. Okay, I lock my door because of criminals, not because of my own people. Even criminals are my people, but I just don't want to be harmed.
Understand the difference between
Okay.
outsiders and outsiders. Amazing.
No, well that's a stupid deflection.
Reasonable conversation.
Well, let's talk because if you're drawing a line that some of these people aren't your people, then
Because it's
you're the
not.
problem.
It's something either is or it is not. It's irrelevant who's saying it.
Well, maybe you should remove
This
the
is just
line.
a naive. This is just a childish level tactic.
Childish? You mean adult?
Yes.
You mean adult? You literally.
That's right.
Do you see how there's like an extreme inversion? You're trying to claim adulthood by drawing lines in the sand between people because of disagreement. Why? That's ridiculous. You're supposed to. That's supposed to be left in childhood. The adult thing to do. Okay. Well,
Wait a minute.
you're welcome.
Do
You're
you
like blind slatist.
do you actually hate Jews? Do you admit that you actually hate Jews?
I don't hate anybody.
Okay. Well, but would you say you are anti-Semitic?
I have a great love for my own people.
Can't why can't I get a straight answer out of you anymore?
God,
Yeah, it sounds like you're the problem. No offense.
Really?
Yes, I have a great love. There isn't a single person on this planet that I would have a great love for. Equally. Well, I'm not.
White people.
I just want for myself what Jews want for themselves in Israel.
And we're not black people. What they want for themselves too?
What's wrong with that? Hey, they've got a whole continent for themselves.
If you saw a Jewish person with a flat tire on the highway, would you stop and help them?
I have a great love and admiration for them.
That'd be interesting when the guy needs a cardiologist, don't you think, guys? That'll be a fun one.
It's like not answering the question. So weird.
You see, it is better.
I heard 3 questions to Dr. Jordan that I could tell.
You can tell what?
Oh, it's just a magical power that we just have to figure that out. And I bet you Dominic figured it out too. And Emma figured it out.
You see, you can't actually gauge on something on the merits. You see, it's just a smear to silence, and you think this is not going to work.
The merits.
Yeah.
Tell me about the merits of the case.
It's pathetic.
I can't tell whether he's being serious, trolling, or what. What is it?
What do you think?
I would go back to my.
Put an emoji,
So
put one in the chat if you think.
Which Jew? Amazing.
I think he's trolling.
Which Jew here advocates for open borders for Israel? Anybody?
Well, if I was a Jew, I would.
What's an open border?
That wouldn't be very smart.
Yeah, what's an open border?
Look in the chat. It's the thing that 1,500 rabbis want for the United States.
Who are those rabbis? Do they have smichut? Are those rabbis with smichut?
Hey, I don't know.
Do you know?
Go
So maybe they're not rabbis. Who the hell knows who they are?
Rabbis. They're self-appointed rabbis.
But does that matter? Do they run the politics of a foreign nation?
Oh, okay.
Do they? Do they decide the decisions of a foreign nation from some synagogue in Wichita, Kansas? Do you think so? Yeah. Well, you want to argue on the merits, bozo? Yeah. Go lock up your Catholics like you do over there, right?
I think we'd be more inclined to listen to your advice if you let us know that we're all
elementary school.
Let's go back to that flat tire on the road.
I think if you prove to us that you have the capability of
Let's see, who else does it probably hate?
You see, they want to talk over you. It was founded in terrorism. How did they get their country? It was British money.
IRA.
How did they?
IRA.
You see, they're going to explain it away. They're going to talk about something else. What aboutism?
How'd we get our country, bozo? Paul Revere. What was he? What was Paul Revere, honey?
What aboutism? What aboutism? Explain
Yeah.
it away.
Oh, well, you're talking to a group of Americans that love their nation. So you want to go pick on Ben Franklin too?
They can never talk about the topic.
Speaking of which, have you guys been to the Hispanic American Revolution Museum?
Yes, it's a great museum.
Isn't that a great museum?
Country was founded in
Speaking of
those terrorist leaders went on.
Was Paul Revere a terrorist? What do you think?
No, he was not.
Was Ben Franklin a terrorist?
No, well,
And this is what I was.
he did.
No, we can admit it. It's because we're on the defense. I think we all know how the country was founded, right?
How you'd have to be that people.
I agree with you. I don't.
Why do we have Europeans in the room? Why? Who invited the Europeans?
I have that cancer to talk about cancer.
Why do we have Europeans in the room?
That's such a retarded point. Do you understand that? Yeah. Okay. Amazing.
I just have to let you know, though, which is interesting. I generally take your position, and I agree with you on what you're trying to talk about. But I gotta say, when you take this approach, it's like it makes me think like, geez.
I took this approach. I was having a perfectly reasonable conversation with an individual.
There's a lot of Aspergery people. Please show Penny for the
Maybe
people with
that's
Asperger.
true. Who are you talking? You're talking to Stumperdink?
Yes, we were having a perfectly cordial conversation until someone couldn't have that cordial conversation happening.
I represent him. I represent him. He pays me by the hour, right?
That might be true. Is Stumperdink? Are you still on the phone?
It's just for hire, dude.
Yeah, I am for hire.
That's
And then you can't afford.
Why did he change his name to Stumperdink?
Because he likes Engelbert Humperdinck. Do you know what that singer was?
Oh yeah.
it's okay. Just
He's
forget it.
released me.
No, we're trying to get him. I think he's on the phone right now.
They're the best people on earth. We're the most
Okay,
ethical.
do me a favor. No. Nobody. We don't think that. We don't think that.
The most. That's what they say. They're the most moral and ethical army on earth, right? These military groups.
I mean, like, we make mistakes. Everybody makes
We make
mistakes.
mistakes.
Yeah, everybody makes
This
mistakes.
is literally like.
Who did you
Well, it's difficult when you're dealing with a collective, though. I mean, you got a lot of people, right? How many millions of people are in the United States, right? We're trying to.
Talking about the United States.
Oh, what were we talking about? Who were we talking about? The moral Americans.
We're talking about the founding of the very country that's of modern day Israel.
Why do you need to talk about Israel?
Well, why? Because we were having a conversation.
How do you feel about Jewish people, though, Em?
Yeah, we're gonna do a different conversation.
Yeah.
What's you've been off mute this whole time. Can you go on mute? Let me see you go on mute there, buddy.
Okay. Can you enjoy the juice law? Enjoy the juice law.
Okay, that's what I thought. He was out. And then he realized that someone was actually in control and he ran. What do you guys think of Trump's new library that he's looking at? I don't know if anybody saw this.
It was compared to Obama's, it's night and day, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just missed the memo on it. Tell me about it.
Well, I'll post in the queue. Let me find the link real quick.
It's in Miami. Barry Trump posted up.
It's in Miami or in Palm Beach?
I think it's in Miami, but I could be wrong.
Eric Trump is the smartest or the dumbest son of the
I think I mean everyone has their favorite on that one. I like him better than Don Jr., but I don't know. Do you guys like Don Jr. But
That was the great area. They're all dumb. I don't think they're fucking idiots.
They're not dumb. They actually went to pretty good universities, but Ivanka's very, very smart also, by the way.
And a link here, I'll get it.
That's why she doesn't like her brother's
Oh,
dad.
So when did that happen?
She's the smart one, and they're all dumb.
When did she come out and say she doesn't like her brothers? I didn't read that.
By the way, what makes someone dumb? I'm not following your logic. What makes them dumb, by the way? Dominic?
What makes someone dumb? What kind of question is that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you obviously have evidence that they're dumb. I mean,
Yes.
can you let me know what it is?
We start listing things that they've done that's dumb.
I don't. Yeah.
What is that?
What's dumb? Like, what is the degree from the University of Pennsylvania indicative of dumb?
No, you don't. Just because you have a college degree.
Not any college, is it now?
Excuse me?
It's not a college now, is it?
It's not a college?
No, I said it's not any college degree. It's a specific type of university. It's an Ivy League university. So does that qualify as dumb to you?
Okay, Trump University.
No, University of Pennsylvania.
Fraud. His sons. All of them support him. Support Trump University. They're all fucking dumb.
What are you talking about? Who is this guy?
Alright.
I mean, I don't know their IQ or anything, but I don't know if they're dumb or that. I have no reason to believe they're dumb.
Okay, so you think IQ makes someone intelligent?
Yes.
No. Did you ask
Do you know their IQs?
Everybody quiet. Let Beaver go.
Do you know their IQs?
I just said I do not know their IQ, so I don't know if they're dumb or smart, but I have no reason to believe they are dumb.
So
I'm asking for the evidence.
I can respect that. I can respect the fact that you withhold a judgment. I can respect that. But based on what I've seen and what they've shown to the country, they've shown that they don't have intelligence.
How? What pension fund is in the red?
I was on Eric Trump went to Georgetown. Another schlumpy school.
Friends and neighbors.
I think
Under these lights and all that.
you decide that you're in a building where you have no problem assigning his kids.
Yoga studio.
Oh, you're talking to kids now? What are you doing?
Dominic, I would have like more respect for you because I hate the kids, like not like actually sit there and go, well, I think they're dumb without the evidence. You know what I mean?
You think Eric Trump is dumb?
What mistakes have they done? I mean,
I didn't speak on Barron, by the way.
Oh, who's dumb? I'm sorry, which one's dumb?
Let me make that clear. I don't know about Barron, but
Which one's dumb?
the other
I've heard
the
that
ones
also said Eric.
The brightest, the most
I'm
confident.
sorry, Eric Trump?
Eric.
You called him dumb? The one that went to Georgetown. Yeah, I was gonna say, no, it wasn't nepotism that got him there. It definitely was. Dude was a. No. And Don Jr. went to Penn. Pockets.
But I ain't not lie, they depicted Eric Trump as the dumb Trump and Don as the smart one, Junior. I don't know.
Because of the NFT shit, which is so ridiculous. Like, he has so many other avenues that he's been involved in.
Crypto is just crypto. I mean,
Yeah, I think people still take that seriously.
Thing to do, you know. But here's my question: if they were anything other than the name Trump, would you say the same thing? I mean, it's obviously not. We just call someone dumb without knowing them at all, or you know what I mean? Like it's because their names are Trump, the last names. That's the only reason why you see.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear it. You can tell through interviews people's vocabulary and how they can respond to questions. You can get some indication if they're stupid. But I like Kamala Harris. I don't think she's very bright. But like with them, I haven't seen anything that would indicate to me they are stupid.
We did a joke. Shout out to the accolades of Eric Trump, where he graduated with honors from Georgetown University with a degree in finance and management, awarded for improvement, strength of resolve, and character in the Hill School. Lily Ward, Liberty Financial, involved in DeFi, focusing on bridging traditional capital markets with blockchain. That's actually not that easy. And he was a co-founder of U.S.-based domestic Bitcoin mining initiative. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of people would get drunk and come
We'll
up
need
with
at
those
least
and just drink.
5 security guards.
The alcohol system. just think they're instantly smarter than everyone else. Just
By the way, my son went to Hill. It's an amazing
Elise
school.
yeah, I
school
heard.
grades.
I heard.
What school is that?
It's a Hill school. It's a boarding school outside of Philly, like in.
Very nice school.
It's a really nice school.
And nepotism only goes so far. If you're a fucking idiot, you're getting kicked out of college. You're just dumb. They're not gonna keep a dumbass in school regardless of your parents are.
That's not
That's true. You need a dumbass who's in college.
most people I know in college are dumb.
Nepotism babies, billionaire's child.
I mean, I personally don't believe that to graduate college you have to be smart.
No, I'm saying you have to be passing grades, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they do.
Yeah, but passing grades doesn't mean you're.
And Georgetown University, what colleges did you guys go to?
No, I mean.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
School, I would say.
You telling me that you think you're dumb if you can get through Georgetown?
Probably not.
It's a very, very hard university.
Go in community.
University of Pennsylvania, very hard university.
Yeah, but if you graduate
so-
from like some online school, it doesn't mean.
Well, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Trump.
No. Facts, man.
My bad, bro. Yeah, so we're talking about Dominic called him dumb and said that you get thanks, brother. He called him dumb. Even though he went to Georgetown, graduated with honors in finance and management. But he's stupid. Shout out to that.
I mean, it's crazy to say somebody's dumb if they have those qualifications.
Yeah, very strange. I dare you to write out the Pythagorean theorem. It should be PEMDAS for a second, Dominic.
Wait, it was in the Wizard of Oz, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the square of the adjacent two sides. Sorry. It was in the Wizard of Oz. It's the only reason I know it.
Yeah, I want him to see me all the
Did
snakes.
Don Jr. get into Penn undergrad?
Don Jr. went to Penn undergrad and Eric went to Georgetown. And Ivanka went to Wharton. I don't know if Don Jr. was in Wharton or in the college.
Science and economics.
Getting into undergrad, the hard part, he would have to, even if he's rich and with his father, wouldn't he still need like at least a 30 on the ACT to get in there?
Really hard to get in.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, my kid's legacy, I can tell you, like one of my kids did not get in. You have to, it's very, very hard. And even if you're like a good athlete in the Ivies, there's no money for athletes and they have to, they still, I don't know from ACT scores, but SAT would have to be like close to 1,300 as an athlete. And then
they have wiggle rooms, but they have like some kind of special point system where they can help the athletes get in.
little bit, but
It's like
not
points,
like,
not even.
yeah, but it's very, very hard to get into Penn.
Yeah, honestly, he had a Bachelor of Science in, what was it, dude? I forgot, bro. Science and Economics. Literally from that college, a bachelor's, so I don't reserve people.
Did he go to grad school?
I know it was just the University of Pennsylvania and the Wharton.
He went to Wharton.
The final?
Yeah, so he was at Wharton. So not only did he go to Penn, but to get into Wharton is like doubly hard.
Where did Hunter Biden go? I don't even know his.
In a pipe somewhere.
Besides crack school, yeah.
The other brother was brighter, Bowen.
I got a question.
So, the school that you go to determines how intelligent you are.
No one said that.
I'm asking a question.
The implication, like.
What qualifies him as dumb? Give us that first.
We were proving the opposite.
Well, Ian, he made the claim, though. We're defending.
I'm not bad claim. I'm asking a question.
We were using it as the opposite. We were saying that because he went to those schools, that it disproves he's dumb. Yes, that's what we were saying.
Came in late, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're here the whole
Yeah, I'm
time.
trying to.
There was a premise made that Don Jr. and Eric Trump are dumb people. That's all. That's the premise that was made.
Yeah, so we're defending that claim based off of critical thinking. This is what we try to use in here. And going off of the premise and, coming to a conclusion, and we tried to. But apparently, going to an Ivy League college and passing your SATs and actually working hard doesn't prove intelligence. It proves your capacity for intelligence. But it doesn't prove you're actually intelligent. Shout out to philosophy, because we got some genius.
Well, I think being dumb and ignorant are entirely different.
Ignorant just means you don't know something. Doesn't mean you don't know something.
Just let him make the.
You got it.
I think that makes
Let him make his case right now.
I think that might have been what he was trying to say. I can't speak for him, but I think that might have been what he meant.
Is that what you meant?
I have to ask real quick, just for the record. Like, do you mind telling me, Ian, who you voted for?
I voted for Kamala Harris.
Okay, so there we go. And then
I didn't vote for Trump.
who did you vote? I know. I got.
I didn't vote at all.
Yeah, my bad. I was busy doing something. So yeah, I guess that would be what I meant.
That is right. I think he meant that everything might be ignorant, not dumb.
Is that what you meant? Really? Or is that just what you're going to mean now?
Well, if we're defining, that's how you guys are defining it. Yes.
Ignorance just means you don't know something.
Okay.
We don't always use vegetable.
No, he doesn't need to say that. I promise you he doesn't. I promise you. He meant what he said.
But you say ignorant. How do you get evidence of that? Like, what part? Like, anybody can just say anything. What are they ignorant of? What would you say?
I think they're ignorant of the plight of people who are not like them, who didn't grow up like them, who don't have the same advantages as them.
No shit.
So I think they're ignorant of that. That's
okay.
ignorance.
So how are you the most hated? How are you the most hated president? God damn it! Sorry, my background.
He's not the most hated president, by the way.
I mean,
where are these accusations? They're insane.
Forget about like the fucking presidents that like intimidate black people and like genocide and Native Americans, and then you talk about Trump, right? Who's not doing either of those things, and you're like, we hate him the most. That makes no fucking sense.
and yeah, let's be honest. He honestly, man, he is the most hated, bro. He gets so much hate, bro. It's ridiculous how much hate he gets for nothing, for no reason. I stand by he really is.
I think he can probably widely considered the worst president. I think that's almost consensus.
Yeah, I'm just saying we have a lot of haters. I'm just saying we have a lot of haters in this country.
His approval ratings are the lowest.
You say he gets hate for no reason?
First of all, Dominic, this still has nothing to do with your claim that his children were dumb. This has nothing to do with your claim.
77 million people didn't like him? You're saying nobody likes him? 77 million people disagree with you.
Dominic, this still has nothing to do with your claim.
Bombs at this point. I mean, I don't know where this.
Hold on. He's stronging us. The claim was the kids are dumb. But you're talking about Trump. Stand by your claim and defend it.
I am, and my justification.
Dominic is one of those kids.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. And my justification was that Donald Trump Jr. Support what he's doing, which means they agree with what he's doing, and he has the lowest approval rating in history.
So that makes them dumb.
He does not have the lowest approval rating in history.
He does.
He most certainly does not.
Oh my God! I'm being gaslit right now. Like,
oh no, you are gaslighting yourself, sir. That is the most illogical thing I've ever heard in my life.
I'll post,
no critical thinking.
I'll post the fact that he has the lowest approval
But that doesn't negate the fact that his kids are dumb. As to why his kids are dumb, bro, because they support their father. You are honestly illogical, dude. You gotta stop drinking. Drink some water.
Technically, Harry S. Truman has the lowest approval rating in history.
And by the way, how did we check approval ratings back then versus how we poll people today? I mean, the systems are quite different, aren't they?
I don't give a fuck what my father does. He's got my support.
I would imagine. You said what now, Parker?
And when it comes to my father, unless he's fucking chaining people up, killing them, and fucking slaughtering folks. What the fuck? Like this? What is he honestly? The thing to me is, we are so spoiled in this damn country. We really are. That people can't even see outside of what's going on. We have an overconsumption problem in this country. Not too many things that we have, and we still are complaining about what the president's doing. Vote your special elections for Congress needs to change. Don't vote out those seats that no one's voting out. Don't take care of actually passing these laws. Because they're the ones that are putting stops into what these presidents want to do. People want to talk about the president, but they don't have the real power unless they have the Supreme Court and the House backing them.
To your point, former Speaker of the House, Ted Williams, always said, all politics is local. So,
you believe them? You don't believe them?
do we believe what?
Dark Victorian era that she ran.
Hold on, let me ask about.
Was she really in here? We believed it. Like, we believed it, that it's literally local, but people are so obsessed with Trump. My bad, that sounded sarcastic, I'm sorry. I gotta watch my tone. But yeah, people gotta stop laying off.
Sorry, but the issue is that happens with any president, though.
Of course.
So it's not fair either way, right?
No, the problem is our Congress, not the fucking president, really.
So I just looked it up.
So hold on, by you saying
By that logic,
we were blaming Joe Biden for inflation.
I didn't do that.
Third, I didn't say you. I said I'm talking in general.
Right.
We were blaming Joe Biden for inflation. Cost of living, eggs, and all this shit.
Shouldn't have been.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, I stand by that. This is me. Yeah, I don't support either side. I think both sides are fucking retarded. I think both sides are dumb. Yeah, I think we're all smoking cigars. I really think we're all smoking cigars, jacking each other off and making money regardless.
Biden's economy was objectively better by every measure.
I don't think you understand how this set up for his economy.
By every measure, whoa. You just said by every measure. Tell me about your portfolio. Hold on, Pockets. Tell me about your portfolio and its performance. Just give me a snapshot of your portfolio during the first Trump administration, and then Joe Biden's administration.
That's not a good indicator.
No, hold on. He just said by any measure. Those were his words. I'm repeating it back. So I asked him by any measure. Tell me about his own portfolio's performance.
All right, I'll pull up the statistics.
I didn't ask it. I asked your portfolio, its performance during the first Trump administration. How'd your portfolio perform?
I'm gonna pull.
How are your stocks? How are your stocks, Dominic?
He doesn't have it.
How are your equities?
What are you doing?
I'm not moving anything. You just made a statement. I'm making you answer your statement.
Prove it. And you're
not helping yourself right now, Dominic.
God damn. All right, you're right.
I got your back.
Hello?
So you can get off. I think we can all. Well, I don't know. We can all agree, but I think that we can agree that most reasonable thinking people can agree that when President Trump took office, the economy was doing pretty well.
Thank you. So you can go after him.
Who is
Say by any measure. Thank you, Ian.
I said when he took office, meaning the economy inherited.
was good.
The economy of what he inherited.
Yes.
You fucked it up.
You said you don't say what he inherited.
I asked you how your portfolio performed, Dominic, during his
When he took office,
presidency.
we had 75 straight months of job loss.
Solutions. He caused the problems. Who wastes their money on this content?
Unemployment rate, they cut in half from what it was when President Obama took office. So I'm just.
Don't talk too much, Dominic. Don't talk too much.
I think he took. I think the problem is that President Trump wants to take credit for everything that goes right, and when something goes wrong, it's somebody else's fault. I think a lot of people have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's how he frames himself for sure. I'll agree with you there, but I still think he's way better than.
You said by any measure, and I still haven't gotten an answer to my question.
So she's included by any measure in your personal.
Okay, so he already named what 3 or 4.
I asked you a direct question.
Can I fucking answer, please?
She wants to know how it affected you
Not
personally.
cut me off.
Just don't talk too much.
Oh my god. So he just named 3 or 4 different statistics that factually proves that he was one of the worst presidents of our time. And that's what I'm claiming, and I can make even more claims. If you give me a little bit of time, I can look up
But I didn't ask statistics. I actually asked about my own portfolio.
She's asking you personally.
I asked you personally how your portfolio performed during his first administration. Also, I can get into the taxes that you paid versus the taxes that you paid prior to his administration. I'm just having a personal portfolio. How did your equities perform during his first administration, and also since he's been in office? How have your equities performed?
Many equities added.
taxes went up under Trump.
What? Not for me, they didn't.
Well, you're
I asked you about your portfolio, Dominic. I've asked it 50 ways. How did it perform, Dominic? You said by any measure. Your own measure. Your own measure.
Dad, I'm not
Your own
rich. I
portfolio.
don't have money like that. I'm poor. You're more wealthy, obviously.
You own any stock? You ever bought stock?
I don't.
So how did the stock market perform under his
The
first?
stock market is not. Oh my.
That's not an indicator of the
That's
economy.
not an indicator of the economy.
Not at all. You mean the
It-
market is not an indicator? Joe, you want to jump in
I'm
here?
about to lose my mind, yo. What the fuck?
Wow, this is getting a little scourging, man. Wait a minute. Just a matter of fact, Trump cut taxes in his first term. You don't remember this?
Well, 2017 tax.
No, for most brackets.
No.
For most brackets. No, for most.
No, he didn't. That's
For
bullshit.
wealthy people.
No, not for wealthy
That
people.
is bull.
And for people making 160 grand up, they're getting taxed 17%. 90 grand and below, they're getting taxed 20%. You get low.
Okay.
Hello.
No, it went down for
Hello?
most brackets.
Yeah, I literally just said that. It was at 23% for people making 90 grand and up. It got down to 19 to 20% for people making 90 grand and up.
They think it's just for the corporate and the rich. They
No, it's little Johnny too. He's not.
A little, you know what? How many people have 401ks? I mean, it's not the rich that have 401ks. Most of America does. How were their 401ks performing under his first administration?
Mine's popping. I was making 120, so I can get rich.
So the analysis showed that the largest benefits were in terms of dollar value and percentage of income skewed toward higher income individuals and corporations.
That's common sense stuff.
That is a fact.
That's common sense stuff.
The guy, he said that they went down, the taxes went up, and they didn't. They went down.
Literally.
Okay, is it tariff attack?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
I can't remember.
Is it tariff attack?
Yes, then everyone paid, brother. Yes, everyone paid. Yes, everyone paid, brother.
Who imposed higher tariffs?
The smart man, because he wants people to start paying us. We deserve the money. Yes.
You know who? Wait, hold on. You know who?
I'm cool with it, bro. I'm cool with paying. I don't mind.
So you cool with paying that?
I'm paying illegal fucking healthcare. I'm not gonna pay for tariff, bro.
That wasn't the question.
I know I said I'm cool with paying it. It's just glad I'm cool with it.
It's a tax that he improved.
I asked about his first term.
That was the question.
Dominic, I asked about his first term, and you just can't answer it, can you?
Oh, well, okay, sorry. Can you re-ask the question? Sorry.
I sound like a broken record. So clearly you don't own any equities, because I asked that question. But you must have some kind of investment, something. How did it perform during his first term?
He doesn't. Most people don't have it.
You know, I don't have it. Oh my god, why are we talking about it?
We can't talk about which presidency was bad or whether it was good.
Yeah,
Like
you know,
that.
You said by any measure. You said by any measure.
You're considering you have investment.
Most of the country has at least a 401k. You don't have to have wealth to have a retirement account through work. Okay?
She's being
facetious.
she's on semantics right now. You did say by every measure. So she's holding you to what you said, every measure.
So,
Sorry, I hang on words, Dominic. And then
Yeah, we gotta know the difference between tariffs and tax cuts. Dominic, do you know the difference between tariffs and a tax cut? Do you know the difference?
Tariffs are
That they're two very, no.
Tariffs are a tax.
Do you know the difference?
The difference between a tariff and a tax. Yes, I do.
Tax cut.
Yes, I do know the difference.
Okay, because you know the tax cut. No, I'm just saying, yes, you do only know the thing.
So let me ask a question. So nobody has an issue with this tax cuts benefiting the higher income?
Honestly, no, because they are the ones hiring our employees. They need a tax cut too.
What are we talking about?
I'm literally, no, you're not gonna kill me with that shit, man. Don't kill me with that. But the only people you let you go on is I'm not gonna go with that shit.
I'm asking you a question. You believe in trickle down economics?
I believe that people, if they get a tax cut, they have to write that. What's wrong
You believe in letting it trickle down to economics of the
There are corporations that actually do the trickle down effect.
Hit the like button right now. Subscribe.
Let me ask you.
I got a feeling I know who you are watching this YouTube channel right now.
Had gotten elected, she would have gotten rid of the capital gains treatment. She would have made it ordinary income. You think that would have been a good thing? That when you sold your equity, you paid ordinary income tax on it as opposed to capital gains treatment? You think that would have been good for the economy?
And aren't these
Yeah. You said you voted for Harris, so I'm asking you.
I'm not a big capital gains fan. But when I vote for someone, it's just not on one or two issues.
I just asked you about that issue specifically. Do you think that would have been a good thing for our economy?
I just said I'm not a big fan of capital gains. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it doesn't answer my question. Do you think it would be a good thing for our economy and people buying investments and investing in equities and investing in businesses if you treated capital gains as ordinary income? You think that would have been a good thing? Yes.
I'm not a fan of capital
So
gains.
you think it would be a good thing, would you?
You're right. People vote on multiple issues. Three with one for number one. I mean,
it was taxes for it.
how can Dominic say? I'm going to use that as you. Dominic said he was the worst on every measure. Like, I don't know what that. How could you say he's the worst on security?
The border. You want me to explain how that's worse?
Yeah, Trump shut off the border. It was a leaking seed when like 10 million came across their butt.
They called Obama the deporter in chief.
Because he counted people he turned away. But then, who cares about Obama? Biden let in 10 million people in 4 years.
Well, yes, you know what the problem with the Biden administration and the border was. So they were hell bent on doing the exact opposite of everything the Trump administration.
Yes.
And they overcorrected.
But you wanted her to be your president.
He would have done the same. He would have probably had the same policy.
Borders are, right? Wasn't that the title?
She wasn't no fucking borders. All right, stop.
Well, that's what they called her.
That's what they called her. She wasn't no
I know she wasn't the borders.
Yeah, she was not the borders.
But she was labeled that.
I know she was labeled that.
She didn't do it because dumbass that labeled her that because they don't know the facts.
Biden labeled her
She
that.
know how to do her job.
Her boss was a dumbass then, right?
You know what pisses me off is people don't know about tax credits and deductions.
Talk about it. I know she was labeled that, but she wasn't.
Do you think? Let's talk about that. That's a good point. Was Joe Biden mentally stable or mentally there for you guys? Since you're calling people dumb, where are you guys with that?
He wasn't.
Okay, at least you're honest there.
Matt, I have a question for you. Do you know the percent? I want to know for the room. Do you guys know the percentage of the tax cut, the tax relief that was actually given to people who are low income? Do you guys know the percentage by chance?
What was the percentage back is what you did?
I'm not. You guys need to know all about it. You know, and how shitty it is, and how horrible it is, and how it doesn't help them at all. And people who are poor are just fucking, done under this tax cut and deductions and credits. Do you guys even know the deductions that were offered, the credits that were offered? Do you guys know it? Or are you just guys just going off the fact that he's orange and you don't like it?
You guys didn't say nothing. That's what Dominic said.
Oh, Dominic, do you know the percentage by chance of the cut? So can't even take this conversation.
Yes, I will take it seriously, but I have to look it up.
No, I'm saying I can't take you serious when you make these claims with no evidence to back it.
Okay.
Stop making these claims, bro. Then provide the claims.
I will provide the evidence. Give me a minute.
She's trying to research.
No, I have the number. I already have the numbers.
Well, you already have.
Yeah, I'm not gonna educate motherfuckers who make a claim. It's your claim to defend it, bro.
Well, you quicker than him, Pockets, on getting information.
I literally have an LLC, an S corp. Well, I have an S corp. No, I did have an LLC. So that tax that's very important. Shout out to business owners that are starting up where these deductions and credits actually help. Shout out to that. So people are just reading these fucking headlines and not even reading the actual bill. What it actually offers, the deductions. I made some good money back last year. I gonna make it this year.
Dominic said that Trump's sons, Eric and Don Jr., are stupid because he's
we still on that shit.
Well, I'm saying how we got, like, how did we get to this topic? And then someone said he said they were dumb because they support their father is the worst president by all metrics of all time.
Yeah, you going back like 10 minutes ago. We already moved on, didn't we?
Well, then, no, now we're talking about why do you think he's the dumbest? What
I thought I correctly when I thought when I said that I don't think he meant to say dumb, he meant to say ignorant, and he came in and agreed with that. So I thought we had moved on. But
yeah, but then it became he's the worst president.
Well, that's subjective.
Obviously.
Yeah, we're trying to find out his subjective opinion.
Can I read it? Let me read this for like 20 seconds. An independent analysis of the 2017 Trump tax cuts generally show that they disproportionately benefited high-income households and corporations while providing minimal or temporary benefits for low-income individuals.
That's all you got?
What are you reading? What are you reading? MSNBC? Let me guess. Where are you reading that?
MSNBC 100%. It's not reading from the committee.
No, center on
Democrat.
Center on budget policy and priorities.
Let's go conclude the center on. What did you say the name is? Let's have some fun now. What's the name of what you're reading?
Instead of taking the L.
Put the source in the chat. Put the source in the chat.
Wait. So if MSNBC wasn't so that what would that mean?
Attack the source and not the claim.
I'm curious. If MSNBC wasn't so, what does that mean? That
Well,
implies
it's propaganda. I mean, that's one of the worst sources out there.
what about Fox News?
It's better. It's better than NBC, but it's still propaganda. But it's still propaganda.
Doubling
Yes.
child credit. So doubling child credit, child tax credits, and doubling standard deductions. You think only benefits the rich? You think only the rich have kids?
Did you not hear me read it?
Increasing to pay, reducing tax penalties, and significant tax cut. Think only helps the rich?
Do I need to read it again?
No, but I'm asking you that question. I just asked you, does doubling child tax credits only benefit the rich? Yes or no?
How about I agree with you? How about that? And then you can agree with me that taxes got cut for the lowest income earners and got raised for the highest income earners under Trump. Can you agree with that?
No.
You just
Wait, what?
You said it backwards.
Yeah. This is why it's very hard.
Yeah, but I'll agree with that.
Y'all got him flustered. That's why.
I mean, honestly, because he's literally reading from flustered.
Y'all double teaming him, man. Goddamn, he can't get his thoughts.
Shout out to the double
Wait,
fist.
you're not in on the double team tag team here too?
Wait, so don't make saying it's disproportionately.
You're right. So
It
hard that we argue.
Hold on for a second. Hold on.
Because that is true.
Every time Dominic messes up, you're like, oh, he's flustered. That's why I messed up like that.
You said I'm doing what?
You're like holding his coattails and carrying him.
You said I'm dick riding.
Yeah, dick ride. Yeah.
Hold on for a second. You don't know me.
Dominic in the end, and it's
Hold on for a second. I don't know you. You don't know me.
yeah, don't play the fucking tough guy.
Don't ever say
I don't know, man. May I do something, Matt? May I do something,
Let's be respectful. I ain't respectful.
Let's keep it coming.
I'd like to really counter your facts if you could.
Right, now this kind of shit. You don't know me.
2017 for the actual Trump tax. 2017 before the actual tax credit came about. Single filer 38,700 to 92,700. They were being taxed at 25%. That rate. After 2017, so 2018, single filer was being taxed at 21%. So 4% went down. Shout out to that. The people who were making 400 to 500,000, their tax didn't change. The people who were making over 600,000, their tax only went down 1.4%. So the difference is not as dramatic as you're putting it. And I hate when we do this, when it becomes so just like dramatic and filibustering. Like it was a literal
for the wealthy, 1.4%. For the impoverished, it was what 5%. That was lower, which is a pretty big fucking deal for being honest. From 25 to really 20 to 21% that they were being taxed. So I don't understand where you're seeing this. I think you're seeing the racial disparities. I think you're seeing the racial disparities, Dominic, which I read about as well. That there was a movement going around that yes, certain households are not going to be getting the same income as all their households who look a certain way. So I think that's where racial disparities. But the tax cuts were there.
But why should rich people carry the burden?
I don't think they should.
Some of the burden.
So should the racial disparities not exist, or what?
I mean, the racial disparities were created in the creation of this nation, basically. So
I understand.
Who do you think, Ian? Who do you think pays the lion's share of the tax in the United States? The percentage of our revenue. Do you know what someone can give me the number?
Zero taxes.
I know.
What percentage of taxes paid in the United States are paid by the top 10%? Someone have that number?
I was talking to Pockets, and I was trying to have a conversation with Pockets before you rudely interrupted me. So can you slow your roll a little bit, please?
I can slow.
So Pockets. So should the racial disparity, whether it was created at the creation of the country, whatever the case is, should it still be prevalent in our country? Yes or no?
Is that a real question, bro? No, obviously not. If you're fucking human, obviously not, bro. I don't know what that's gonna do with me saying that out loud. Is it actually just gonna stop? Like, that
No,
doesn't change it.
I didn't say nothing about it. I just want to get your viewpoint on it.
Yeah, no, obviously.
The disparity is a disparity. There is no should or shouldn't. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like what?
So we should just be okay with that.
Absolutely not. Go honestly. Go get the people with honest out. Get them out. Sign that bill that's fighting for term limits. Vote for sign these petitions. Like what are we talking about?
Look. I ain't never been in this room, so I'm just asking questions, trying to figure out where everybody's standing.
I'm sorry.
You got it.
I just feel like the tone as well when you're asking these questions. These questions are kind of low-key like questions that we can't do anything with.
I'm not saying that you could. I'm just trying to figure out where you stand, because I don't know you for a cat of bank.
And nobody's saying, Ian, that racial disparities is something we agree with.
Right.
I'm not saying you did. I'm just asking people how do they feel about it.
Yeah, we don't.
This really wasn't. We weren't making this a racial conversation. We were making a conversation about taxes.
I made it racial. That was my bad.
So no one feels good about it. No one feels good about it.
But I'm trying to make a point.
But I was asking. So let me now go back to taxes. So the top 10% tax bracket in our nation covers 76% of federal income taxes. I actually think it's a higher number than that. The top 1% accounts for about 50% of the federal income taxes that are paid. The bottom 50% of the country is responsible for 3% of the revenue collected on income tax.
I'm aware of that.
Okay. So to say that this is only benefited the wealthy is also carrying the country on paying the lion's share of the taxes for the country. Do you agree with that?
A lot of rich people.
I don't.
They make a vast majority of the income.
And they're paying most of the tax.
For them to pay more, yes.
Well, have we not always
the vast majority of the income.
Have we not always had a progressive tax system?
Of course. It works beautiful.
The higher income, the more you make, the more you pay, right?
Yes, sir.
I don't know about back to the early days.
No, in modern time. What year did we bring in? What year did we bring? I'm trying to remember what year.
I'm just saying we've always had not always. I also had a progressive tax system for a long time.
Yeah, I also have $50 grand of no income. Yeah, I know that's where you got your source.
But it's a disproportionately high amount of taxes are paid by the top 10% tax.
Wage making under 50K and pay income tax.
Basically.
Which is also very important to know. And they live
what I was trying to say when you brought up the racial point, what I was trying to say was that people, and I'm speaking for Dominic, I'm speaking for Pockets and Abby, people base their opinions based on how things affect them personally. Abby, you are in a different tax bracket than Dominic probably is. I'm pretty sure of that. So the benefits that you received from your tax cuts or whatever affected you one way, they affected Dominic another way. So again, it's all subjective based on how we all have personally been affected by whatever policies any administration implements, whether it's taxes, healthcare, whatever it is. So for us to knock or criticize somebody from their personal viewpoint is crazy to me.
You're correct, but Dominic received the benefit and Abby received the benefit. It's just Abby probably received a bigger benefit.
But Dominic did receive a benefit.
But you can't say that he didn't receive a benefit.
Dominic has the kids. Dominic has kids. Dominic, you have kids, you got a double credit for your kids.
I mean, you're probably doing much better than Dominic.
I'm not poor. I'm okay, but like I feel like
You need some stock tips, Dominic? You want to give
No, I don't invest in stocks. I don't invest in stock
Well, you
market.
should.
Well, he might not be able to do that as financially.
I'm sorry? What?
He may not be financially able to do that. That's what I'm saying.
What does that even mean, not able to
I have a 401k.
So you are investing in the market, Dominic, if you have a 401k?
That's probably a good job, though.
Wait, hold on. He is actually invested in the market because he has a 401k.
That's a good job.
Technically, yes.
So no, technically, yes, absolutely you
It's
are.
not a low blow. It's not a low blow. You are
That's a
investing.
good job.
You're investing in the market.
You have control, and once you invest with your 401k, you have that control.
I know I don't control.
You can invest your 401k how you want. You can invest in certain things. Your company does it for you because you allow it to.
You can make a company aggressive and like you can't do like I don't think some companies I don't think you can do full control. I don't think so.
What I'm saying is that his job didn't invest his 401k for him. He would not probably have enough disposable income to do it on his own. Is what I'm saying.
I'm sorry. You can buy a pair of sneakers. You can buy some stock. Honestly, this is what I was saying earlier. I don't consume in this country. I'm being honest. Hell
I
yeah.
buy shoes for $5.
Hell yeah.
Wait for a second.
You just said you're not poor.
Wait, why did you say
I said I'm not rich and I'm not poor. I'm like in the middle somewhere.
Okay.
Hold on.
It takes $5.
You spent a lot of money on sneakers.
Wait, what? I said if you could buy sneakers, you could buy stock. You know.
He's racist.
You know.
He assumed he bought sneakers because he's black.
And what's crazy is Ian said, Abby, you must be more well off than Dominic.
Well, he is.
Wait, aren't you?
Like,
Well, how do you know that?
exactly. You would assume
How do you know that?
Hold on for a second. Abby, listen. How many rooms we been in together in the baseball room?
Oh, we have been in a lot of rooms.
You got season tickets here. You got season tickets there. You got
All right,
you got house there.
I know, Ian. Okay, Ian has me exposed. Okay.
So I know you.
But we didn't know that. How do you know Dominic's poor? We don't know what's his. Well,
Ian, by the way, I went to opening night on the Phillies. It was amazing.
yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was.
did they win?
Yeah, they won. Schwarber hit up. It was fabulous.
Oh, I have Sanchez on my bench.
Oh, you do? Oh, no, they look good.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, we had to digress.
Yeah, we've been.
Yeah, definitely figure that out. Yeah, 100%.
No, and can we give a shout out to a great house that's on Clubhouse that is Baseball Collective? Baseball Collective. It's just fabulous. And you see, Ian and I have different opinions on politics, but when we get in those rooms, we fight over our teams.
Yeah, we talk baseball.
What team are you at?
Great.
Well, I wasn't
You
an Oakland
Dodgers?
A's fan.
So that's when.
I'm from Oakland, so I wasn't an Oakland A's fan.
Oh,
I stole his team. I occupied his team.
She stole my Raiders too. I'm still a Raider fan.
yeah, sorry for that.
Shout out to Vegas.
Speaking of baseball, my coach Tony Vitello, I'm a University of Tennessee sports fan. Yeah, so he did as far as I know, I'm not a big baseball guy. He did what's never been done. He went straight from the pros to the first from college to the pros.
Yeah.
And he lost his first two games and
They won tonight though.
Yeah,
oh they did, okay.
I think they won last night though.
yeah. You missed every
I just
second
want
of
him
it.
back. I want him back at Tennessee, so I'm kinda hoping he fails, but
Wow.
Shout out to that, Beaver. That's smart. That's strategy.
And I can't wait to tell you what they're offering the PSLs on that new stadium.
That's
It's,
conservative strategy right there.
yeah, for the A's.
I don't want to talk about it.
It's bad. It's bad.
Because remember when I told you when the Ravens came back to Oakland, I bought a PSL, right?
Yeah.
That was the worst shit. Like, I mean, I enjoy going to the game, don't get me wrong, but the PSL shit is a scam.
Well, now take an NFL PSL and double it, and that's what they're.
Right. It's just wild.
The personal seat license, and so they're offering you can buy seats for the A's, and it's only a 20-year license, so it expires after 20 years. So you have to pay. Like if you want to sit in good seats, like like really good seats, like the area behind home plate where they have the club behind you. To own the seat, each seat is $100,000 to $150,000, and that's not the price of the tickets. That's just the right to buy the tickets.
Yeah. I'm used to college, and it's similar. You have to donate. You have to donate a certain year, then you get the right to purchase the ticket. And so that.
He's from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yes, you're the only 10 again.
Knoxville.
That was real corny, buddy.
Yeah, it's White Fish.
That was really corny.
That's why we left the word. Left it there. But you know what's crazy, y'all? I'm not gonna lie. The financial literacy in this country is so embarrassing. It really makes me sick.
Literacy itself is embarrassing.
It just makes me sick because I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up and get an LLC. Shut the fuck up. Get an LLC. Get registered.
I have an LLC.
I'm not talking to you, Ian.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm talking to the poorest, bro. I'm talking to the poor. I'm literally from Kensington, Philly. Literally from Kensington, Philly, bro. Made it out damn near the gutter. I have a house. Kensington. Literally from
It's not a fancy area.
Man, like I honestly should have had a needle in my arm. I feel like when it says complaining about the millionaires, watch what they're doing. Watch what they're doing with their money.
Pockets. Let me just say something. So when you're telling a certain ilk of people to get LLCs, you're enticing them into going into a world of finance that may end up getting them locked up. Because when people get enticed to using LLCs to purchase certain things, they open themselves up to possible administrative crimes and white-collar crimes that they do not know that they're opening themselves up to. So be very careful. I'm just saying, be very careful guiding people towards sophisticated solutions that otherwise could bite them in the ass if they're not very sophisticated in understanding how to work.
I'm not being careful. Don't get an LLC. If you're a fuck up, you deserve to get jail. Honestly, go to jail. Go to jail if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. If you don't do research before you do anything, what can I do to you? What can I do? Save you? Give you a hand? Save?
You better.
No, honestly, if all I'm saying is go get the LLC and your dumbass thinks, I'm gonna just go get it and fucking not look up anything else. Like, that's not my fault. You're stupid. Like, do some research. You should go to jail.
Is this your on a pizza on a bun?
No, it's actually no. This is my dad.
Because there are people that actually believe that Trump is the
so nice and sweet.
It's a pop star.
That's not my fault that they're retarded.
There were people that were actually believing that Trump said that drinking bleach would cure COVID.
And we should
you have some stupid people out there. So, like I said, when you're listening to 2 Chainz with gold teeth, don't be giving them advice that's going to get them locked up.
They should drink it, and honestly, less people on the freeway, bro.
He did say that about bleach, though.
And honestly, if people drink bleach, they shouldn't be here anyway.
He did say that about bleach.
I know he did.
But you ain't supposed to joke at the time.
The man was joking. Stevie Wonder could see the man was cracking a smile. The man was joking.
Y'all know what about secrets with you.
Hold on. We were dealing with a fucking pandemic. People would die. There was no time to be joking.
People been dying from the hospital.
It don't matter. He never said that, by the way. He never said what? He never said inject yourself with bleach. He never said that.
It's beautiful.
They weren't his words.
Yeah, they were MVP's word.
He said inject yourself with what?
He did not say bleach.
The quote's out there.
He didn't say inject yourself.
I would go watch the interview, please. Instead of like getting an LLC and not doing research, you know what I mean?
I heard one really broke this down, and it was just like not any of that what people are saying. It was interesting.
About the Mexicans sending their rapists over here.
Hold on. He investigated whether disinfectants could be injected to the human body to treat COVID-19. Disinfectant, yeah. That's not bleach. That's not. Why y'all get on this shit? See what I'm saying? Let's come on, man.
And he's not. No, it's nothing.
But he didn't say everybody
was dumb as fuck.
inject disinfectants into your veins to cure yourself. He never said that. People twist it to say that he was inviting people to do
Say that. I don't know where
He asked the CDC, or who was the lady? That was, I can't think of her name. Was it Birch?
Carol Birch.
She was sitting there in the press room, White House press room.
The one that wore all the time?
On the side, yeah. And he was asking, can we look into, injecting the disinfectant, and it would just wipe it right out.
Yeah, it's not.
But he was like, it's not remark. He wasn't telling people to do something.
That's the whole point.
Hold on,
It's not bleach. You could say anything.
All right, here's the exact quote, Matt. And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute. And there's a way we can do something like that. Is there a way we can do something like that by injecting inside or almost a cleaning? Question mark.
Yeah, no mention of the police.
He was literally asking like the experts. He was literally asking the experts, hey, why can't we do something like this? And then the medical experts walk over and say, hey, there's A, B, and C that we can do, but you can't technically use that. But he didn't say anything about injecting.
You were hung up on it, Ian. You said it 5 times. He did say that. He did say that. No, you literally said it.
Injected bleach.
No, I said he said inject something.
No, you literally, when Adam said it, yeah, you literally went, I don't think you look up at Adams and say, he did say that though. He did say that though.
I said what?
You said he did say that though, because Adam was like, he did tell people to drink bleach and people really thought he said to drink bleach, so you gotta be careful with these idiots. And you said he did say that though. He did say that though. You said it 4 times.
Okay.
All right, so here's what it says. He was reacting to a presentation about the disinfectants killing viruses on surfaces. Then he wondered aloud if something like that could be done inside the body. He said it would be something doctors would have to study, not something people should try themselves. TDS.
You should not try this at home. Because we have idiots in there.
Asking the experts, he's saying, hey, they use disinfectants to sterilize surfaces. Is there anything we can do, like any type of medical stuff that can help eliminate the virus inside the body?
Hold on, you are really.
Obviously,
He literally said, he said it would be something doctors should have to study or something people should not try.
Matt, it's getting surging, man. It's getting surging.
Why would anybody in their right fucking mind take in the middle of it? This disinfectant you use on surface and put it in your body.
Ian, because he was asking. He's saying
you asked that shit
simply Ian.
So it's really
simply
I can in the middle, Ian. I mean, it's fine. Like you can admit that he never said bleach, and I can admit that he shouldn't have never said anything. That's fine, right? I mean, what are we doing here? We're arguing over things that we both can meet in the middle. So, do you agree yet or no?
Yeah.
He's literally asking a question aloud to the experts and the doctors, saying, "Hey, this treats surfaces and get rid of the virus. Is there anything we can do inside the body?"
We got you, love.
And then he went on to say, "Do not do this."
So y'all don't. So okay.
We got you, love. It's okay.
Why would he suggest that we take some shit that we use on surfaces
live in America.
and put it in our bodies?
Apparently, people get LLC because it's fraud.
Why? I need
Just something like disinfectants. It doesn't mean that it was literally disinfectants.
Again,
Like if there was some solution like that, when you say, "Oh yeah, let's do it," right? There is not.
I need 3-4 people talking to me at the same fucking time.
I'm talking to God.
I can't even say shit. Even every time I start talking, when y'all start talking. So either y'all gonna let me respond, or
No, we're not doing that. Cause you're just off mute the whole time, dude. You've been on mute.
I haven't been on mute the whole time.
Yeah, you've literally been on mute. You haven't been on mute.
Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to say.
No, listen. You gotta listen to what most people say around here. Yeah. So check it out. You were wrong. There was nothing to do with bleach, right? You gotta admit that,
man.
Huh?
I learned bleach not come out my mouth.
You You literally said
I said he said something similar to that. I didn't know that.
No, now you're not trying.
But he said disinfectant.
Literally said
Bleach is disinfectant. If we want to be exact.
you said bleach. You said the words bleach.
Bleach is
They
disinfectant.
But not all disinfectants are bleach. That's the problem.
I get that too. Some things can be true at the same time.
But really, what can't be true is what did you say? Disinfectant or bleach? What was it?
The point is that he was speaking out loud and using about some shit that he should have been speaking about behind closed doors in meetings.
We're talking about what you said. You said bleach.
I didn't say shit.
He didn't say either bleach or disinfectant.
He said,
Come on, dude.
he said,
You're trying to gaslight us.
I said
we're talking about something he said.
I said
Did we not talk about something he said or not?
You didn't say it, Ian.
Ian,
Did he not say disinfectant or not?
You're not gonna mind.
You didn't say bleach.
But see, this is the shit I'm talking about. Y'all keep on want to hang on this fucking word bleach. Fuck bleach. Okay? Let's say that. The motherfucker said disinfectant. That's what he said.
Yeah, but you said bleach.
Okay, fuck bleach.
That's why we're talking.
What I said is right.
What did he say?
We wouldn't care.
What did he say?
About this.
What did he say?
What did you say though?
He said disinfectant and you said bleach.
He said disinfectants work on the surfaces.
I'm not the goddamn president. So what I say don't matter.
No,
All he said was disinfectants work on the surface.
having a press conference.
But Ian, all he said was disinfectants work on surfaces. That's all he said.
It doesn't really matter, but he asked you what you
Why
said.
in the fuck would anybody suggest?
Because people really don't be doing this dumb shit in America, bro. People do this dumb shit in America. They do this
Why,
shit.
as the president of the United States, did you say something like that?
Because
Yeah,
you're not
CPS is
Honestly, Bush go on TV and say we just bombed the shit out of Iraq.
I'm not using Windex on my body that we use on a window.
But Ian, if he said it, you would
What's your number for Texas? It's stupid.
We gotta have more common sense than that, bro.
Rich, read the quote again, please.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So there's that.
Motherfucker, stop muting.
And then I see the disinfectant. When it knocks out, it knocks out in a minute. And there's a wit. Is there?
Wait, just Crunch House muting the entire group. And not you, just everybody. So we could get in order for him to read the quote. Okay, Rich, please read.
Yeah. And then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute. And is there any way we can do something like that by injecting inside or almost a cleaning?
Why say some stupid shit?
I mean, it says he was reacting to a presentation about disinfectants, killing the viruses on surfaces. Then he wondered aloud if something like that could be inside the body.
Meaning an alternative.
He said it's only doctors would have to study, not something people should try themselves.
That's that.
I'm not on Ian's side, but if you're trying to argue what Trump said there, is like, okay, I would be saying for him to say clearly.
It was clearly.
We already said that, but that's not.
Yeah, so why are we bringing up the quote again?
Because the guy said bleach, not disinfectant. That's why we're talking.
I think Dominic brought up the bleach.
Okay, so Ian, be real. You said you probably did say bleach.
I said he did say that.
You did not say that, dude. I
never brought up the bleach. I bring up the whole shit about
dude, I literally been talking to you about
it.
The last
Don't tell me what I said. I didn't say nothing about bleach.
He did say bleach. He said he told people to inject bleach.
Somebody else brought that up. I said bleach, bro.
Yeah, he said that people should inject bleach.
Also, what is it? I mean, what do you think Trump is referring to if not bleach when he says this?
What he's saying is there anything we can use that's like can cleanse it, can kill the
Is that such a nuance?
Meanwhile, everyone's forgetting that he started warp speed and he got the vaccine produced and he handled it for our country. Like, you're just forgetting all the other stuff that happened during that time.
Yeah, he got all you liberals your shots in record time.
Yeah, I mean,
You gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I'm sick of your shit already.
I took the vaccine.
I'm not talking to that. I'm talking to this little motherfucker down here. I don't even know who this dude is. The one I said I was dick riding. Keep on getting me sideways.
Well, I mean, you got TDS, and it's really wild.
You don't know what the fuck I
You got TDS.
Forget yourself, Rich.
You don't know nothing about me.
You can always turn the hand.
We ain't never had a conversation before. You don't know nothing about me. You talking to me like you know me.
And I'll give you some advice. Rich, that guy, he is nothing.
In favor, before you say another word, could you cash in your pink tickets, please?
The who ticket?
Pink ticket. Okay, you just join. Just.
I'm not gonna do that personally. And who the fuck was she just talking to?
No, because I just left the room. I came back and nothing happened. Nothing changed.
You'll be alright. Just refresh.
You got it. You'll be alright, bro. Don't stress.
Joy. Yeah.
You'll survive, bro.
I just find it crazy how people get the two things confused.
I can't believe y'all gonna sit here and lie to this black man. Rich ain't no fucking troll. Rich is a racist. He likes harassing black people. Like, I can't believe y'all want to play this up to be trolling like this. Man, you sound like a liberal fucking plant.
Shut the fuck up. You sound like a liberal fucking plant. Every single goddamn fucking point, you got it. Goddamn. Is this where I'm at? Is this where I'm at? Really? Is this what I have to do?
No, I don't know where the fuck you're at, because you sound like a dirty
of course you do. You sound like a dirty foreigner.
Y'all killing me, man.
That was racist.
And this is not the baseball collect.
Where do I have to step in?
Who the fuck knows, bro? I don't even know where the fuck I'm at, bro.
Yes,
but I know this motherfucker's fucking fake as fuck.
How's your hearing if you don't know where you at?
Is baseball your favorite sport?
No, basketball is.
Did you watch UConn do?
I did, man. I'm not a Duke fan, but that's a fucking way to do it.
Remains just on my daddy.
So what now?
Oh, the guy that was screaming. I said it's just on my daddy.
What's the worst way to lose? Getting your ass beat by 40 points to Michigan, like my team did, or losing?
I would rather take a 40-point ass.
Me too. Me too.
Honest to God. That's why I was arguing with the Brown fans. They talk about, man, he got to the final. Jordan get swept in the first round. I would rather get swept in the first round and get all the way to the goddamn NBA finals.
Did you see the UConn coach like almost headbutt the ref after the shot?
He didn't. What the fuck was that?
He was just being nice, honestly. I don't believe in me.
Beaver. I have friends on the UT staff. Coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Justin Gainey's a good friend of mine.
Oh, his dad just got the NC State job.
No, he got the job.
I mean, well, okay, his son is what, Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan Gainey.
Yeah.
Justin's a really good friend of mine. I've known him for years.
Yeah, he's a good player for us.
Yeah.
What's up when he get another year? But he got denied.
Yeah. So his dad's now at NC State. No, I'm talking about his dad. He's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
This is the coach. And then I think your sports information guy named Alex Schwartz, is another good friend of mine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a Tennessee sports nerd. The room will be bored, but
yeah, right time is cool.
Yeah, it sucks. My team lost. UNC should never lost like that.
Well, I mean, they blew a 19-point lead like Duke did, so you should take some solace in that.
They got rid of their coach, didn't they? Hubert?
Yeah, it was dumb.
He got fired.
He was dumb.
College sports is crazy now. It's almost worse than pros as far as players moving around.
This is about as bad. This is Wild Wild West.
We just fired our coach. Our hockey team just fired our coach.
Oh,
the Knights.
The Knights, yeah, I heard about it.
I mean,
You gotta get me in the hockey, man. I try to watch, but I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You gotta go to a game. That's what turns you on. You gotta see it live. But I mean, I think they fire coaches. I thought the NFL fired coaches. Hockey fires coaches like crazy.
NBA is pretty bad too.
Yeah, it's a carousel in NBA.
NBA is pretty bad. So,
hockey rules though, when I played, I understood what offsides was, but I think they may have changed it after the fact.
I don't know none of this shit, man.
No, they're still offsides.
They last longer than any professional coach.
What's that, Kyle?
College coaches last longer than any other professional coach.
It's more jobs to do than college coach.
Yeah, before you get fired. But in the NBA, yeah, you out here. Have all your season, you're done.
The only good thing about it is that your contract is guaranteed, so even after 5, you still got to pay.
Well, you still gonna get paid, but just know that
thing about it, though. Yeah, that's the only good thing about it, though. So. So most people in this room, most people in the room, Trump supporters.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, did we solve whether or not Eric and Don are dumb people, or we say they're ignorant? I guess, right?
I think that's what he meant.
Dominique's not here, huh?
He just used the wrong choice words.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say in full support because I'm more independent, but you know, I agree with what he did, you know, some of that stuff he did, at least more than what Biden done. I don't agree with that racist fuck. He's on the internet or, you know, documenting being racist.
What's documented?
As far as Biden?
Yeah.
Well, if you go type in on Google, when he said that he don't want his kids to be raised in a racial jungle, I mean, what we talking about?
I can give some more quotes too. He said something about Obama's
being
articulate, well-spoken for a black guy.
Yeah, he's the most well-spoken black man.
What about when?
He said it was surprising that he was so well-spoken.
Exactly.
What about when Biden called black men super predators?
He didn't say that.
It was Hillary, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Hillary. He said that he doesn't want his kids he doesn't want kids being bused into school and kids being surrounded in a racial jungle.
I think what might be also more telling is his relationship he had with Robert Byrd. I mean, you know, he was close to him. Biden eulogized him. You know,
Didn't Robert Byrd denounce his way his past stuff?
I mean, that he was KKK.
Yeah, didn't he denounce that?
I mean, yeah, he denounced it.
The reason I'm asking is I'm thinking that's how Biden justified the relationship. That's what I'm saying.
They were definitely close.
Biden was living while he was
very close.
I'll give you another statement why I say Biden is definitely documented racist versus Trump, right? It's because he's on national TV saying this back in his younger days when he was in the Senate. There was a black judge that was being nominated to be judge, and he literally said, "We don't need another nigger judge."
He didn't say that.
Yes, he did. Go look it up.
It was probably actually what he
Somebody
said.
please look that up right now.
That's been debunked million times.
No, it's not been debunked. That is actual fact. It's live on TV.
That's false.
He filmed it.
Dude, you know that was altered, right?
No, it wasn't altered. He said that.
My man,
You're trying to make it seem like he wasn't trying to be racist, but why are you using the word nigger?
He didn't use it where it was altered.
He did use that word.
That video was altered.
What research you talking about?
My man, that video was altered, man.
So they had altering capabilities back then, right? Yeah.
No, they replayed the video from that back then. They have altering capabilities now.
How are you going to substantiate that, bro? Because like I heard that same statement and not one person proved that it was altered.
So I'm just making it up.
Either that or you just go by what people are saying because it was. You saying it's been debunked, but no one actually proved that it's real.
Ian, how do you square the you ain't black comment?
Yeah, is that not racist? Although if you don't vote Democrat, you ain't black, right? They're using black people.
Well, you asked me a question. Can I ask a question? Or you gonna talk for me?
You know, answer your question, Mr. He can't tell whether a suggestion versus a question is two different things. Go ahead, man. You got it for me.
You know, my problem is with Clubhouse is that people say shit to you that they wouldn't say to you in person. And they take a lot of bold chances over these apps.
I mean, that's what you think, but you don't know.
I really hate that about it.
You're right. I'm probably smacking in the face of middle.
I have to quote.
What quote?
In a 1985 Senate hearing, Joe Biden quoted a memo during his questioning that included a racial slur. Specifically, he said, "We already had a nigger mayor. We don't need another. We don't need any more nigger big shots." It was part of a critique of Louisiana redistricting case.
Why would he use such a, you know, I mean, if that's not racist?
Why is he using the hard R, bro? I say ninja. I say ninja, my ninja, you know?
Listen, we all grown. We know he's not trying to be racist, but
The point that I'm trying to make is that it's a factual statement. This man saying it wasn't true, and then he comes up with this. Oh, you wouldn't say stuff with nobody.
We know that he wasn't being racist when he said that we don't need another nigger mayor.
I thought you said he's reading. I thought when you say he was reading the memo. That argument.
Yeah. Okay. So if he reads a memo and he quotes it verbatim and uses the hard R, you're like, oh, that's fine though. He didn't actually make that statement. He's just quoting it.
I'm not saying
No.
First of all,
You said what was you said it was a memo.
Y'all won't let me talk.
You said didn't you say it was a memo? That's what you said.
That's what he said. No,
it was a memo that he was reading. Before the Senate, he was reading the memo before the Senate.
Hey man, I'm not even talking.
He was reading the memo before.
I'm not even talking.
He used those hard R.
I'm not talking to you. Say what? I said I wasn't even talking to you. I'm done. I'm not talking to you.
How about this? I'm talking to you guys. Boss, you all don't talk to each other.
Who said that? Who said the memo? Who he read a memo. He used the who wrote the memo? Who said I don't know who wrote the memo. I have no idea.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Plus, the person who brought the story up.
I don't fuck that.
You don't know.
Of course he knows. Can you guys shut the fuck up and let him respond? You Plus.
John. It says the memo is written by John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. That's your answer? Wow. I'll set you up, Beaver.
Wow. Yeah.
And whenever we go out, the people always shout.
Wow. This motherfucker saying this time, bro. Bro, we were all so like we were vying for you, bro. We were all on your side while you were telling your story, and then you had to fucking say that, huh?
True or false? Trump said, take the gun first, go through due process second.
True. Here's what I'll say. You bury your guns in your backyard. Bury your guns in your backyard. And that way, when they fucking come for your guns,
Lima, here's my follow-up. The answer is 100% yes. Said it in the first term in response to a shooting. Here's my follow-up. Do you agree with Trump's statement or not? Yes or no?
She does.
So,
hang on.
why do you sound like a woman, Stephen? God, man. What's with you?
Remains.
I don't care how.
Can we get this dirty for to ask him like we're on the stage?
You'll also be happy. Remain. We should be happy that Steven Silver does.
I barely have like one drink a month. I don't even know if it's a
Not too much on Stephen, y'all.
It's weird. Cowardly Anon profiles. I asked a question to a lady and you guys crashed out. Go ahead, Bima. Do you actually agree with that thing?
no, I don't agree with it, no.
Okay, so you actually are more conservative than President Trump on the Second Amendment. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. See, what happened was a mature exchange on this app. I know that that's foreign to some of these weirdos, but congratulations, you got to hear an example of it.
Oh yeah, a lot of them retarded like that.
I'm glad y'all don't judge people based on their speech. Assholes.
No, it's a B. Steven like you? Yes, just like you.
So back to Joe Biden, hard y'all. He was reading the memo, but he should have known better tonight. Read the whole memo.
So it's kind of like a plus here read it off and just drop it out.
If I'd read that on Peachtree in Atlanta, I'd read that memo out. What do you think would happen?
We're not going to speak to
What do you think would happen?
That's one of our weird black and white form. We said the rich man. Science is one of our
also forget, I mean, none of you were probably around to see him questioning Anita Hill during the Clarence Thomas. I mean,
I don't know if that was racist more than sexist.
It was sexist. It was really sexist. I mean, he didn't vote for Thomas's confirmation, but he was not kind of, you know.
I get what you're trying to say, people just motherfucking say that shit. Like that shit never came out of his mouth.
What do you think he was trying to say?
I think he was trying to say that with, because I know nobody else believes Trump's a racist, but with Trump's alleged racist history, racist statements that he's made, that as a black person, he shouldn't have voted for him.
Well, Ian, you would agree that, did you see how we just went over, everyone was like, Biden's a racist, Biden's a racist. And we just kind of, what's up everybody, by the way? We just went over, and everyone was like, oh yeah, this, bang, bang, bang. People were rattling off, and we couldn't stop people from talking to get how Biden's racist. I don't think that would happen with Trump. And we can say he's a racist, but again, the burden of proof would be on you, right? It wouldn't be on anyone else. You know? It's not like being he's not a racist.
Well, like, he didn't say shithole countries, but that was a quote from Barack Obama. Barack Obama said that those countries should be not allowed to come into the United States.
Barack Obama said that?
Yes, we're shithole countries. So, I mean, he targeted like 19 different countries, saying that we should not bring these people in because they cause too much chaos and too much violence and stuff. He's talking about places like Somalia, Sudan. He was talking about West Indies countries and Northeast Africa.
I don't think that's racist.
I think it was fine and Trump are racist. I think, you know, he can stay the same. They're both fucking racist. Like,
let's rattle off Trump. We had no problem.
There's not be honest with you, because race things. So, well, here's a fucking bad question. Do you think that flooding majority black schools, community centers, hospitals with illegal immigrants that can't speak English and drain all the resources, is that an obvious political position that the black community should vote for? Because that is what the Democrat Party is in favor of. Does anyone want to say that yes, that's a pro-black policy? Absolutely. That's why that's the quietest this app has ever been. When we're playing around with words, when you've got full communities that can't even get what they need because they're getting scammed, and we're talking about words as well as life. Yes, of course, there's funny words. There's endless examples. That example, they deserve for the yeah, you're voting tonight.
Everybody write in the chat a 1 if you have black fatigue. Write in the chat a 2 if you have Iranian fatigue. You can do 1 plus 2 if you want to have both. And put a 3 in the chat. Put a 3 in the chat if you don't have black or Iranian fatigue.
What do you mean by fatigue?
Fatigue, like we're sick and tired of hearing about political. We're tired of hearing about like all reparations and slavery and black people looking at everything. Like, but nobody cares anymore. You're not going to get $70 out of us. We're not going to be like, oh, I got lit up. That's my time. That's what you got trouble. You got trouble with what black fatigue was. Black fatigue is for white people and everybody else just doesn't give a shit about the bitching and what you black people do about slavery, reparations, and you're black. That system is racist. We don't care. Like initially we were all, most of us were like, oh man, it was pretty fucked up. It was pretty fucked up during Jim Crow.
maybe systemic racism exists. You guys have beat it into the ground so much and beat that dead horse that everybody's just like, yeah, we don't care. We don't fucking care.
So what do you do when something's still going on? You just
we don't give a shit. We don't give a shit because you guys bitch and whine about it so much that we just don't give a fuck.
Well, if the shoe's on the other foot, you'd be bitching and whining about it too.
No, yeah, but then eventually you would have white fatigue and you'd be like, all right, white man, we don't fucking care. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about your fucking shit. We don't care about this. Like, you just, it's no different than like being in a relationship and like your spouse like hates you, tells you they're gonna divorce you or something, or eventually you just get to the point where you're like, all right, this fuck's time for it.
If your spouse is
like that's the fatigue.
Do you let anybody else know?
You were asking for the like, yeah, go ahead.
So if your spouse is telling you constantly,
no, my wife has.
This motherfucker here, man.
If your spouse is telling you, when I say you, I'm not speaking about you specifically, if your spouse is telling you what he or she can do, what they actually do, things about it, it's an action to fix it, counsel, whatever it is, and you feel to do it, you expect some sort of question. You expect him or her to just stop talking about it?
No, you just get sick of it.
No, resentment is going to be they're going to come on. It's just no resentment, and they're going to keep going, and they're going to be sad, they're going to be frustrated.
Rich, as much as I absolutely can't. No, Ian.
No, you agree with me because I
absolutely cannot stand you. As much as I absolutely cannot stand you, I'm going to cause you to be very, 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 very careful applying this to black people. Because this shit can go around to other groups of people who can make the same grievances towards people that you find very dear. So be very, 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 very careful in your sentiments of crying about, well, people are crying about X, Y, and Z and past treatment.
Oh, no, Adam.
Because every single person in this room belongs to some group that has some type of history. So let's not sit here and do that, Rich. Let's not do that.
All right, Adams, I agree.
Let's move on, Rich.
Hold on, Adams. You and I are both part of that same fucking ethnic group, and we agree that both of us would say that those people need to stop their fucking bitching and whining too, because they're earning the fucking hate.
So you would just say you would tell your spouse.
Adams and I are both Jews.
So we would tell our spouse to stop bitching and whining.
Yeah, I would tell the Jews to stop whining and the blacks to stop whining, because you're just earning the fucking hate. Nobody wants to hear every 5 seconds anti-Semitism and racism. Like, we don't care. It's like when you hear leftists call people Nazis. You know, initially people were like, oh my god,
crazy.
They called us Nazis.
This is crazy.
It's so
The
crazy.
cognitive dissonance is just wild.
Speak for yourself.
Everybody's a Nazi.
Half the country is still waiting for the other half of the country to just come out and do what's the right thing to do
I'm an Nazi.
and fix the
Steven's a
things
Nazi.
that need to be repaired, restitution to be delivered just on principle. But we have to wait for the other half of the ignorant country to come around to admit it and grow the fuck up.
There's a famous philosophical quote that says, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. At some point, people have got to stop hating each other. And a lot of this entitlement and a lot of this vitriol that you hear from any group towards another, that hate's got to stop. It's actually just
that sounds great. It's like he just said, people are human.
No, I know. I'm far from perfect, man. By God's grace, I'm saved. I'm just telling you, man. Like, you holding on to grudges, family, friends, former colleagues, other races, all that kind of stuff. It only hurts you. It really does. It changes your psychology.
That's 100%. That's 100% fact. But my point is that it's a lot. It's easy to say that. It's very hard to do in practice.
Everybody's entitled to their grievance, Ian. Everybody is. Every group of people is entitled to their grievance. Now, what society and the masses do to appease that grievance is a different story. But everybody's entitled to their grievance. Now, what I don't find to be very becoming a society is for people to look at people's grievance and antagonize them in their grievance. Right. That is non-productive. That's only going to foster more volatility and continue to have the aggrieved party push and probably go off the rails, okay, in trying to do so because they're not being heard. So it's one thing to hear people, but it's another thing to appease them. So nobody's asking for Rich's appeasement, but I think that it's very disingenuous, especially in a country where we have the free speech, for a person advocating for a party that supports free speech to say, well, I'm tired of listening to you bitching and moaning about it.
Right.
You just shouldn't talk about it. There are two sides to that fucking coin.
Right.
So I don't think you're entitled to anything, all right? Entitled? You're entitled to nothing. You can express yourself. Absolutely. Go ahead and express yourself. But this idea that you're entitled to something, somebody owes you something because that's how you feel, that doggone hunt. It's a crock of shit.
People are entitled to voice their grievance. They're not entitled to appeasement. Okay, so hear me carefully.
I did not interrupt you one time. Not once, brother.
I just wanted to make sure you heard me clearly.
Okay, so listen. If you're saying that people are entitled to express themselves, that's literally what I just said. People are allowed, they're given the grace to express themselves. But nothing comes with that expression. You're just like, and here's the thing, like, if your goal is to garner pity for yourself, you're actually damaging yourself. You're not helping yourself. Pity helps no one. Making yourself pitiful, begging someone for something makes you look weak. You lose credibility. The way you gain credibility is by putting your nose to the grindstone and putting in work. That's how you gain credibility. Complaining, belly aching, crying, wishing things were different, that doesn't help shit. And it's really pitiful. Victim mentality.
He's preaching.
Whoever, if the shoe fits, let them wear it. If a hit dog hollers, we know who I'm talking to. The person asking me who I'm talking to, it sounds like they might fear that I'm talking to them. That person.
Why are you yelling?
They might fear that I'm talking to them.
Why are you yelling?
They might fear that I'm talking to them. They might be scared that I'm addressing them.
I'm just
I'm tired of sensitive motherfuckers. That's what I'm tired of. I'm tired of when people, they want to be able to say what they're entitled to their free speech. Well, guess what? I'm entitled to my motherfucking free speech too, by that same logic. Alright? I'm entitled to it too. And I'm tired of belly aching, weak ass motherfuckers. That's what I'm tired of.
I'm confused.
It sounds like you're easily confused. It sounds like you're easily confused.
It's performative.
You ain't told police and shit.
It's performative. It's performative. It's very performative because you're not having a conversation, you're pontificating.
Cool story. I understand.
He's delivering a good message, but
Who's supposed to say anything?
Adams, listen, man. Adams, I understand intersectionality.
There you go.
I understand.
There you go. Low bar tax. This is what I'm talking about. This is the weak bullshit that y'all do. Y'all do these corny.
Settle down.
Why just can't we have a civil discourse?
Yo, listen, man. What I said, there was nothing uncivil about anything I said.
Then don't go personal. Then don't go personal.
I wouldn't go good if you don't stand at the top of that road. If you do not interrupt me while I'm speaking, I won't go personal. And as you interrupt me, you're going personal. As you interrupt me.
Jesus.
This is delusion. You know what's delusional? What's delusional is to act like people being fatigued over people crying constantly is not a natural human reaction. That's delusional. People
Exactly. Two sides of that coin, bro.
Yeah. Cool story.
And that was the whole fucking point we were
Before you came up in here with a bust to this, Adams, I don't want to hear anything when I start disrespecting. All right? I don't want to hear anything. When I start disrespecting,
That's when you lose the argument.
You're right. Okay, cool. I'm happy to lose an argument on Clubhouse. I'm happy to lose an argument on Clubhouse. It doesn't matter.
So then why are you?
I'm not talking to you, motherfucker.
Into this conversation, to the left.
All right, cool. Anyway.
This shit somewhere.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm addressing the points that I heard expressed on the stage. I'm addressing the points that I heard addressed on the screen spoken about by whomever it fits to. All right?
Well, just bring it up, bro. He's crying.
Yeah. I understand. So here's what's up, right?
Anthony, I'll bring it back.
There's a group of people, right?
What group?
That listen to the words coming out of my mouth, and it'll be obvious.
Listening for the last 10 minutes, and it sounds like.
You know, when the mind asks me to stop talking, I'll stop talking.
Yeah, you guys don't interrupt Anthony. I'll drop you down.
Thank you, man. Thank you, I appreciate it. So there's a group of people, right, that want to be paid for work they never performed by people that never benefited from said work. They feel that they are owed something. They feel like they need to be paid. It's like when you ask them, hey, suppose somebody was sentenced to multiple life terms in jail and they died in jail. Would it be justice to go get that person's child and say, you have to finish you have to finish their term? Your father died. Now you have to finish, you need to be punished for his crime. When you ask them that, they get really quiet. They're like, no, well, that doesn't sound like justice. You have a group of people. They talk about some fake ass science, epigenetics, right? They talk about trauma being passed down through the genes. My God, I have inherited trauma. Mind you, these are the same people that when a book comes out like the bell curve that says there's a certain group of people that are genetically inferior, they get up in arms. How could you say such a thing? How can you say such a thing? But of course, when someone says, yo, epigenetics is bullshit. No, because they want to use this bullshit talking point to get money for work that they've never done. You got people that are going to talk about, like, well, the Japanese, they were put in internment camps and they got paid for that. Nobody's descendants that got put in internment camps got paid. The people that were interred, they got paid, as they should have. All right? Listen, I understand there's a group of people that can't impose their will on society. Whenever they fail, it's because of something else. When successful, it's in spite of the way they look. We can go look up a list of household income by ethnicity, and guess who's not at the top of the list? Guess what? There's a group of people that are at the top of the list that their household income is more than double that of the so-called dominant group. It's more than double. I need you to make sense out of this bullshit. I can totally understand with people being tired of bellyachers. Thank you for taking the time to listen.
Who are the belly? Who are you referring to? The group of people. Who's the group of people you referring to? It sounds like
Shit, y'all, is it still Monday?
It's Monday.
Oh shit, I fell asleep, y'all. It was crazy. I fell asleep.
Talk about.
Oh, I need to wipe the corners of my mouth. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody. Yo, I fell asleep on club. Yo, I'm sorry. Oh my God.
I'm trying to figure out who's the group of people he was talking about, though.
Anthony.
It sounds like you're talking about your own skin color, bro.
Anthony, we need to know. We got questions. We need answers.
It sounds like me talking about something.
If the shoe fits, let them wear it. If the shoe fits, let them wear it.
You can't even explain your point properly.
Little cool ass nigga. Little cool ass nigga.
Sound like a simp, bro.
It's a karaoke room. Like, y'all doing that and singing and shit. Like,
what I wake up to?
Straight cool.
That was hilarious.
Anthony, what were you saying about the dump card?
Steven, is that you?
So there's a book called The Bell Curve. What? There's a book called The Bell Curve, and the thesis of the book is that there's a certain group of people who are genetically inferior. They have less. Go read the book. How about you go read it?
Nigga, you brought it up. How about you just say it? You trying to make us say you want to explain it.
How about you go read the book? How about you go read the book?
Is there a movie?
This is so odd.
Damn. You're trying to make a point, but you can't even explain it in full.
Yeah. Cool story. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I understand.
You wrote this book. What's the group of people? That's what we asked.
Alright. I'm done.
You're telling me to go read the book, but you're talking about it. So tell us who wrote the book and who the group of people that you keep referring to, because you keep saying your group of people. So explain your point. If not, be quiet.
Fuck you.
You're literally.
Oh shit.
Fuck you. Because
I just want to be clear. Fuck you. I don't owe you any explanation, and you ain't gonna tell me to be quiet. You're nobody. You're a fucking loser.
You're supposed to respond.
You're a loser. You're no one. You're no one. You're no one. You are no one. You are a loser. You have nothing. You're one of them. You're a beggar. You're a beggar.
You don't know what
You're a beggar.
You're
a loser and a beggar.
Book somewhere, and now
You are a fake book somewhere? A fake book? Motherfucker, you don't need. What's the last time?
Make your point.
Get him, cool. Get him.
What kind of message is that?
Yeah. You know, like, here's what
I'm talking about.
I want to point something out to you guys. There has not been one substance by Charles Murray.
I want to call him the way.
It was by Charles Murray. There have not been one substantive comment. Nothing.
Your point don't make no sense, bro. You just running your mouth.
Your point don't make no sense, bro. Your point don't make no sense, bro.
Beaver, I just realized what you was talking about.
Who's he talking about?
Just told you it was by Charles Murray. It was by Charles Murray. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out who's the group of people. He keep missing it. That's his whole group.
It's crazy. Everybody.
Okay, so what group?
I agree that the bell curve exists of just a bell curve, right? Like as like a mathematic, like the bell curve of small business opens and closures, the bell curve of, how many people, what type of education level there was of people who took the jab, like the bell curve.
And for IQ, Charles Murray and Dick Bernstein, 1994, I believe.
Pseudoscience rubbish.
Sorry, you agreed with it already in the chat. You clapped for Anthony when he was saying it.
I agreed with the fact that a bell curve exists with things. And I heard him talking about epigenetics, and I liked epigenetics. I thought he was going somewhere different with the epigenetics. And that's
you agree that IQ is partly genetics? There's
no, I didn't. If you say that I did, then I'm
I want to be clear. I don't agree with the bell curve. I don't agree with the conclusion it draws. The reason why I bring it up The reason why I bring it up is because you have people that talk about epigenetics. There's people that literally say that there's a certain group of people who they pass trauma down through their genes, so therefore they're genetically inferior. So the very same arguments that are made in the book The Bell Curve, it's also made by a certain group of people that are seeking payment. They're using this as a justification for payment. And I'm saying that you are actually discrediting yourself when you make these arguments. You're actually making the argument of a white supremacist against yourself.
Who is the group of people?
But who made the argument for?
No, I just like the side of science. I think epigenetics definitely exists. I think it exists. I mean, like, we know that it exists. This is a mostly like unexplored territory.
You said you know it exists. You succinctly define epigenetics, Bima. You have the floor.
Yeah, it's basically the expression of our genes, the way that we express our genes. So the genes that we already are born with, and because of environmental factors, how or you know, like just how we express. So is that a good explanation?
It's a horrible explanation. It's a horrible explanation, Bima. I'm disappointed in you.
And I don't know that
so Bima,
very much.
So Bima, the concept that I'm talking about, there's an idea, right? That people can pass trauma down through their genes. This is what I'm talking about specifically. Some people label it as epigenetics. All right? And the people that label it as epigenetics obviously have not read anything about it to understand how limited and focused this is. So, you know, there's a lot of confusion. People make assumptions. People think, oh, if I bring up the bell curve, I'm speaking in support of the bell curve. Nothing could be further from the truth. I don't think that anybody's ice is colder than anybody else's ice. I think anybody in this world can achieve whatever they put their mind to. But I do think that there are people that have self-limiting beliefs. Every action starts as an idea. If you don't believe that you have the ability to achieve said idea, you will never achieve it. If for whatever reasons, you believe some historical grievance has happened, your horizons are now limited, then your ability to achieve is also limited.
But doesn't that have something to do with the environment you grew up in?
Okay. Let's say that it had something to do with the environment that you grew up in. Do you know who put you in the environment that you grew up in? Your parents put you in that environment.
Oh, okay. And who
So,
put them there?
we can't blame society for the environment that we grew up in.
Okay.
How do you blame society for that? Society didn't arbitrarily say you have to go to this environment.
Really? So red line.
Really?
So let me ask you a question. So redlining wasn't a thing back in the days. Assuming you know what that is.
Okay, I want to know what impact redlining has had on your life.
Oh wow! I'm asking you a simple question.
Wow! Yes, redlining was a thing. Wow! Yes, redlining was a thing.
I'm not going to answer your
question. Redlining was a thing.
That's
yes.
Wow.
Hey, Ian and King Messi.
So if redlining was a thing,
Ian and King Messi, I'll ask you this. What can I go do that you can't?
Burn.
What's that?
Burn in the sun.
What? Well, black guys get darker. I wouldn't say.
I didn't know if you were being serious or not. I'm being serious in here right now. Is it suicide?
Either way, they do.
I didn't know if you were being serious.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll cut you off.
I guarantee Ian, if you go out in the sun with a t-shirt for 12 hours, you have a tail light.
I probably would.
So that's the 10 lines and
So back to the question. What can I go do that you guys can't?
That we can't do. Let's see.
Yeah, like what would I be allowed to do? Wait, you just
go beat up a cop.
Like phrase it. Come on.
Wait. He just like throw a cop in the next stage and be let go. It's crazy.
Lock is you to zero.
If you go back a second time, you'll get shot though.
Phrase it like in the next 24 hours. Like what can you do, Ian, that or what can Mike?
No, like I leave my house and Ian, me and you are next door neighbors. I leave my house and you.
Not like the last 10 years, but
like what can I just walk out? Like what can I go accomplish that you can't accomplish?
So okay, what?
Can't accomplish nothing.
This is going to Anthony's point. Anthony's saying you fucking work hard, you can do whatever you want. Nothing's
No one ever said you couldn't achieve anything you want if you work hard for it, but it is a such thing as trauma does to people. Black Wall Street, right? Everybody's aware of these people.
Genetically?
You don't think trauma is that?
Can we break down what we're talking about genetically?
Yeah, we need to have one person talking at once.
You end up trying to
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for breaking it down.
Okay, genetics. So wait, we believe genetics can happen fast now. That's what I'm saying.
genetically. What are you talking about?
We talking about genetic shit. We talking about our generation.
You saw what happened on Black Wall Street, right? These were black
speaking, let KP go. He doesn't spoke yet. Go ahead. KP.
I'm going to have the floor be quiet when I speak, because everybody interrupted me.
I'll let you have to just let KP go. I'll let you have a king.
Thank you, man. Let me tell you something. That fucker went through the same shit with me. We never complained. We always put up and celebrated people. So that's why I had to have my brothers back. I'm always going to be supporting him. Because you didn't know what the fuck we had to do in the ERs, in the EVs, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Motherfuckers don't know. Anthony, thank you for your service.
Okay, enough of the glaze.
Thanks, KP. I appreciate it. King, you got the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you. So all I'm saying is, right, because he went off on a whole spill, sort of going into a strange direction, right? Things can be passed down, but you keep saying, these group of people, which I was trying to get you to say who the group of people were, but I'm just going to go ahead and make a guess that you're speaking about your own kind, because from your picture, you look black, brother. So if you're saying black people are lazy, don't want to work, and yeah, that might be some of us, but you can't put that on us as a whole people. So genetics and all this stuff you're talking about, trauma can be passed down. Generational curses and all that, whether you believe in that or not, then that's your personal opinion. But those things do happen. No, I'm not saying because those things exist, we can't grow as a people, we can't work hard, we can't achieve anything that Stefan can achieve, or whoever in this room. No one is saying that. Right? You're saying you're tired of hearing people bitching and moaning and complaining about, we need to be paid for this and that. But can we seriously say that there's a problem in this country? We tend to look at other countries and help them, but don't fix what's going on right here in our own so-called land.
What would be the number one thing?
It just doesn't make no sense to me.
What would be the number one thing? Real quick, 1 second, bro, because and it gets really frustrating. There's no one on this stage that can say that black people are lazy. That I said any of the sort of what you
said. I made an assumption because I asked you a question.
Listen, bro. I didn't interrupt you. I waited until you stopped speaking. No, I didn't.
I'll let you go ahead and speak.
Yeah, cool. All right. The vast majority of black people I personally know, are doing phenomenally well. All right. Listen, racism exists. White supremacy exists. Who gives a fuck? The vast majority of black people I know. No, yeah, it is my opinion. I'm expressing it like you express your opinion. It's like saying water's wet. You came off your mic to say water's wet. That's your opinion. Yes, it's my opinion. It's not a productive conversation for you to say that's your opinion. You're not adding anything to the discussion by saying that. There's no better understanding.
Bring up all of this. So
here's what's up, right? I'm gonna say what I want to say during my time with the mic. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm not gonna interrupt you when you're speaking. I'm gonna listen. And okay, you said that you're gonna stop speaking.
You technically did
You keep on interrupting me.
You technically did cut him off, Anthony.
Ian, I literally did not cut him off.
He was still
And
talking.
here's the other thing. But Ian, that's neither here nor there. If someone was to come off their mic and lie on you, I do think that they should be interrupted. If someone's going to misattribute your words,
No,
I do
never
think they should get.
Okay.
I don't even think you know what the truth is.
I was in the middle.
Ian, you said you interrupted me, but I'm going to give it to you. That's what you said. That's what you said. And then when I continue speaking, no, but Ian, you said you interrupted me. Okay, King. I mean King. I'm sorry. Thank you for the correction. My bad. I was wrong. I mean King. So, King, that's what you said. If you want to reclaim your time, I'll mute up, and you let me know when you're done. Would you like to reclaim your time, brother? All right, he's not responding. So,
go ahead, man. You got the floor because you obviously got something to say. So go ahead, man.
Listen, the vast majority of black people I know are doing phenomenally well. Since we need to we have people on this app. We have black people on this app who have supposedly spent more than half of their life in jail, and they've come home and they make upwards of $200,000 a year. All right, black people. I personally know black people that don't have a high school diploma, and they're 7 figures deep. So, if we want to act like because of the systems put in place, people cannot live the life that they want to live, I am here to disabuse you of that notion. I completely disagree with it. It doesn't matter whether or not, quote unquote, racism exists. If racism was a mousetrap, then they need to get a better mousetrap because it's not trapping a lot of mice. It's really not working the way they intended it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Ultimately, there are certain things that the government can legislate away. One thing they can't legislate is the way people feel in their hearts. It can't fix that. At some point, what people are going to just have to do is get busy, get to work. Perceptions change themselves as people observe other people doing the work. This is how society fixes itself.
Okay, so before I was really interrupting what I wanted to say is, so, you know what, I got a question. So, in America, the black man, what's the average a black man makes in this country? Because I agree with that statement. There's lots of black people that are doing very well in today's era. So, what's the average for a black man in this country? And the question is posed to you, Mr. Anthony, or anybody who want to answer that question for that matter.
Somewhere in the $50,000, high 40s, $50,000 a year range.
It's about 45. Was it always like that?
No.
Oh, okay. But as far as
you were actually more successful during Jim Crow.
Well, if you doing Jim Crow because you're more successful because
Crow did more less jobs, you would make over 60,000 out here. It's crazy how that works, eh? And nobody talk about it. Nobody talks about it. Yo, this is so sad. Let me get this straight, Mr. K. But so what you can still do?
Nobody's saying.
Yes, and I was just speaking to some young kids. Yeah, he was in their 20s.
So what was the video all about? What was the whole point of it then, Mr. K?
You tell me.
No, I mean you brought that statement up. You said, black, people made more money and was more successful.
Oh, kid, he's tore up.
I'm asking you.
America has. King, you like to ask you questions. King, can I ask you some questions? What percentage of black children are born out of wedlock, King?
What's that? 80 or 90. Really? You asking me questions when you're known for interrupting. How about you ask? Here's a better question.
Why does that happen? Okay. I asked you a question. You don't answer it.
Here's the question I want to ask that you never answered.
Oh my God.
People that you refer.
This is crazy. This is really crazy. Yo, listen.
Even it's really high amongst all of the persons.
At this point, I'm telling you.
Trying to double back and ask you a question.
Okay.
You don't like what I'm saying.
Okay. What question did you ask me before that I didn't answer?
I asked you when you made those little terms or statement about this book, right? You said you keep using that word. These group of people. These
73%.
Group of people. They refer to
73. Whoever it applies to.
That's a skewed statistic. That's not answering the question, sir. But
all right, cool.
Country. This people so
diaspora in this country does better. The black diaspora in this country does better than the black diaspora in any other nation on the earth, and I think that they do better than community in Africa. That's a hard decision to be. I don't know how you can.
In the 1940s, it was 15%.
The best place for the black community to be is in the U.S.
Where would you? This is in the 1940s.
The only place for it to be.
My problem with a statement like that, the best place for black people to be is the U.S. That still doesn't mean
in the 1940s.
There's not a lot left to be.
Well, of course not. No one's saying
that. You can always grow.
Everybody assumes all these things, right? You have to be
I don't understand, the people come up there, Mike, and they say these statements like it's something profound, like they had an epiphany. America still has a ways to go. Okay, yes.
Anthony, what you're not going to do is you're not going to disrespect.
Okay. How am I disrespecting? Ian, you've been threatening everybody all night. You're just a bitch. Shut the fuck up. No. What you're not going to do is you're not going to disrespect me. What you're not going to do.
Why are you yelling?
What you not going to do.
Why are you yelling?
Why are you issuing threats?
I'm not issuing no threats.
What are you going to do?
I'm not threatening you.
What are you going to do? What you not going to do?
What are y'all doing?
What do you mean it's not a threat? It's implied. The threat is implied.
How we apply it, okay.
Ian, how we apply it, okay. Don't even use words you can't spell, bro.
Because you've been yelling.
Nobody. You ain't policing nobody.
Somebody just a soft man. Yelling and all screaming. We can hear you, bro. You don't need to be yelling. You sound really
I'm not your bro. We got nothing in front of me.
You don't have to yell.
Yeah, I would say it's right in your face. Right in your face, bro. Right in your face.
You're being really young, too. You sound like a chump now.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. You should just use your mic, bro. That's all you've been doing.
That's all I hear. Listen.
That's all you've been doing.
Everybody
You can't explain yourself.
You guys are all tough guys on the inside.
No, you're the tough guy. Because you're
tough guys. You guys bought the last gun. You went to the gun store and you bought the last gun.
You know what I'm saying?
And you guys are all tough.
Who said anything about who said anything about no gun, bro? Who said anything about
I know you guys are the toughest guys, man.
bro? I can tell.
I ain't no sex, bro. But yo, you know what? I'm not a rookie. I'm not
You're loud,
like you.
obnoxious.
You're loud. You're obnoxious.
Yeah, you are. You're loud.
You're loud and you're obnoxious and you're
talking for no reason.
You're destitute.
Well, Ian, seeing how King Messiah is a Black Hebrew Israelite, there's a good high likelihood there's a high likelihood that he's
Somebody told me that earlier.
And then he's a former.
That's why I said
told me that earlier.
like you talking about because we know
Alright, you know what? I'm not engaged.
Wow. That's what you've been doing all night, yelling and being loud. So we know who you're talking about.
He's talking like that because what you said got right on his nerve.
Read.
I'm not even responding to you. You just trolling because you don't even know
You all kinds of comments about the way
you guys are functionally retarded. You're all bored. You're all ex-cons.
Talk two sideways.
That's a very good
Anything
education
but engage
statement.
because you actually said.
What are you talking
Anything but actually deal with what you said.
And not one word, Norm. Not one word. He did not say anything.
It's
about? You didn't say anything. You just talking gibberish and yelling.
You're 100%
You just want to sound smart because you're loud and
Want me to repeat what he said?
you know what I'm saying? What are you
He
talking
said
about?
there's no money coming to somebody who didn't do any work from somebody who didn't get any.
I heard what he said, man. You don't need to repeat.
So then it was clear.
Also.
Well, then it was
I
crystal
heard what he
clear.
said, man.
Oh, okay. And then I said that the black diaspora in this country does better than any other black diaspora on the planet, and better than black folks who are still in Africa. So work on that. Now you want to improve your situation?
Have you been to Africa?
I beg your pardon?
Have you been to Africa?
Yeah. What about it?
Norman, he's not African.
So you've been there. So you
He's indigenous.
What about
Africa's poor as you make it sound.
Yo, he's indigenous. That's a crazy word. That's a crazy word.
What's the question about me
You
being
just got this dude over here on you.
This shit is crazy.
That's all middle niggas.
You know what
This is crazy. This is crazy. Good year, y'all. It's good year.
Hebrew Israelites.
This is crazy.
One bliss, opportunities.
I'm not affiliated with none of those people.
Just see what?
Read it. Leviticus. Not Leviticus. Read
Lars.
But Leviticus.
Moderate. Sound like another cocksucker.
You know what that sounds like?
Another cocksucker.
You sound like a
Black man right here.
Let me hear how it sounds.
Edomite.
You feel real happy that you got
Read.
Read.
And the Lord
Go ahead and respond to that, Anthony.
you are
Messiah.
There goes a little line that's clear. Look at that man down here.
Queen. What, King?
You just
What
shut
up,
up the man.
Queen?
Damn.
Nice to meet you, King. Nice to meet you, Queen. What up, King? Get a little spurgy in there.
Oh, it's just the Black Hebrew Israelites. We're attacking them.
He can tell me what he wants. What is that doing? It just make it sound stupid.
Really? You think it sounds more stupid than
Did you know that King David was a Edomite? Better watch it.
Nah, he was
pleased like Edom cheese?
You got no kilometers
Nah,
in the Jew?
but we ain't here to talk about religion.
When the Philistine looked upon David, he said that he was ruddy. The word for ruddy in Hebrew is
When it's talking about religion,
the word for red in Hebrew is
speak on it.
It's the same word.
Topic. So why are you still talking about
Oh, we're all getting followed Black Hebrew Israelites.
He was doing everything on one.
It's good retarded.
He was right. I think they made he had red hair like I
It's not stopping nothing.
No.
Edomites weren't even white.
Question that was made earlier because you sound like a bunch of bullshit.
Esau had red skin, so he's an Edomite. He's the one who created Edomites, and the Edomites are demons and dogs. So by their logic, King David is an Edomite.
The lost tribe, shout out. Can we get Michael Jackson?
How did King David get involved in this conversation?
Because in 1 Samuel it says,
The same way that
because in 1 Samuel it says the Philistine.
They read my profile.
The Hebrew word is Adam. The word for red is also Adam. King David is an Edomite. You're a descendant of King David, which makes you an Edomite.
I can't hear what you're saying, bro.
You are a descendant of King David, you claim. And if King David is an Edomite, then that makes you an Edomite.
You say you were a descendant of King David?
Hey, yo, shout out to the Edomite.
Yeah, he claims. King does.
We're the best underdog.
He's a Black Hebrew Israelite.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he does.
Why? Because my profile says
He's a Black Hebrew Israelite.
Shout out to the Edomites, bro. We underdogs.
Shout out to the Hebrew Israelites.
We've been coming up in this
The
world.
Black Hebrew Israelites.
We were subjugated.
And they would be sold into
slavery, and no one would be there to buy them. And a saltine cracker door.
It says, and they would be sold into captivity, and no one would be there to buy them. That's crazy. Wait, were y'all bought?
Did you know
Y'all were bought, weren't you? Oh, somebody came by that.
He let someone else jump in and make jokes, bro. Like, he taking off.
Yeah, read Deuteronomy.
Black Mormons. Black Mormons.
They are the Black Mormons.
No, I'm a Christian, bro. What happened? I'm a Christian.
If I married a black Mormon, would I be Norman the Black Mormon?
No, I'm Christian.
That was pretty funny.
You be lacking Mormon.
It could have been meant to be, bro.
Chill, I'm a Catholic Israelite.
Oh my god.
All right.
So you like Notre Dame?
Yeah, man, I'm a Christian.
They just make shit up in Jamaica.
Do you like Notre Dame, or like, do you think the team sucks?
I'm the king of Marvin Gardens.
I thought I heard it all.
Yeah, me too.
No, oh no, you haven't. You haven't.
Richard Mark.
Now you heard it all.
Hey, Ian, have you heard of Rayabaya
Fake
on
Jew.
the app?
Who? Filmmakers.
Rayaba?
No.
No,
Fake ass.
Mama, what are you calling again?
You're right about it.
Robbie Dum Dum?
Nah, King's probably heard of them.
Who's that? I don't know who that is.
Oh,
wow. Oh, Norman's a fake Jew.
No, Norman's Yiddle Diddle.
Wow. I don't read them Jewish.
Real Jew, bro.
Wow. I read them Jewish. I can't, it doesn't get more real than old Norma. Holy cow. Norma.
It actually saved a lot of
does.
It's all an act.
Yeah.
He was just one act.
Norman is the king of the Jews.
They take one look at me and they go, "Oh, Jerry Seinfeld, I know who you are." Like,
honestly, I thought you were Epstein when I
Wow,
heard
you
that.
really compared yourself to
That shit tripped me out. You could be.
You want to visit my island?
Absolutely, bro. We could watch the
My island is Long Island. You want to visit Long Island?
We can get that little stick and welcome everyone.
Norman, did you ever see the episode with Larry David when he's sitting with his friend? And his friend looks just like Weinstein, and she walks in and she's like, "You're fucking friends with him? That fucking monster!" And then she runs out. He really looked like him.
Yeah. How about when he eats the Palestinian chicken and gets together with them?
Someone tried to say, Norm actually defended you. Someone tried to say you were him. And I was like, nah, dude, Norm would never,
Now you
bro.
defend me?
Yes, someone literally said that you were him reincarnated, bro.
Definitely told
If the Palestinian woman said,
It was crazy,
"We like
bro.
you fuck my people."
Oh, yeah. Fucking son.
You got Epstein on Clubhouse. Hey,
Yes, right. Come to my island.
no, good.
Dude, I'll be there with the Disney stick and everything, bro.
I got tattoos with me. The plane.
He's like, if
You
you
can
want
call
to
Anthony,
Norm's
though.
chair.
He'll slide up there for me. Black people.
Sure.
Honestly, Denzel Washington never would have shot him, bro. Equalizer would never listen, I'll kill you all in 30 seconds. Tops. There's never been.
People and all that stuff to show.
No, shout out to JD though. Shout out to JD. I'm not there, was there a lot. Oh yeah. Let him and Pusha T. I think it was Pusha T.
Pusha T.
Yeah.
About rap, Anthony might not like that.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Anthony, not too much.
I mean, we could talk about Dr. Seuss though.
My fault.
So what's going on?
We should stop talking about epigenetics. Anthony, I don't know if you wish that we should talk about eugenics as well. Let's wrong with
Yes, let's talk about
The epigenetic situation, you know that one of the leading studies was some Holocaust study. That's what jumped off the Holocaust survivors. Yeah. Well, that's not true.
It's 100% true.
Okay.
You're not going to roast it on normal with that.
It does not change your genes.
Okay, so it doesn't change your genes. It changes the epigenetics.
Genetic is genes. The word genetic means genes. Epigenetics.
But
Does not affect your gene.
Okay, no, it's not going to change your actual gene. What it changes is the signal on the gene. Right? It tells the gene. Yes, that's what an epigenetic mark
It
is.
changes
It's not going to change your
children
gene.
differently.
No, it's the stress hormone. That's crazy, and that's crazy to push back on something like that.
Not pushing back on, just giving you the science.
Okay, well, no, I mean, obviously you're not, because science right now is saying that you're wrong.
No, it's not.
The gene expression change. The code, okay, like the epigenetic mark, right? The epigenetic mark
You
is
don't even know what the word means. As usual.
okay, all right. Do you want me to explain it to you in an analogy so you can understand?
No.
I'll break it down for you. Okay, so DNA is a cookbook. Okay, the gene is a recipe in the cookbook.
You don't know
The gene expression is whether the cook actually uses that recipe.
Stay in the kitchen.
Now, the epigenetic mark, putting little sticky notes on a recipe to say, use more of this, use this less. Okay, so that's the instruction. It's the instruction on what, on how
Tells you to behave without changing the underlying DNA.
I'm definitely not wrong. I'm definitely not wrong.
You're wrong, sir.
It can change people's behavior so that if you
The ChatGPT is in the chat. You're wrong.
What's the difference between an epigenetic marker? What's the difference between the two?
And 20 mics, maybe
This is your big Bima. It's in the chat.
What's the difference?
It doesn't change your DNA.
Instructions, and then epigenetics. What's the difference?
It doesn't change your DNA sequence,
Will you respond? Answer the question.
your genes are not changed by trauma. That's what epigenetics
You're just not answering the question. You know that you can't answer the question. I'm ready to take my genes are being changed.
I can answer the question.
Your genes are being changed. I'm saying, what is the difference between genes and epigenetic markers? You don't want to answer.
The epigenetic marker.
I wonder why.
Let's let Euro answer the question.
Okay, sure. So it's correct that the DNA sequence itself doesn't change. There are mechanisms like DNA methylation, which is the small chemical groups, which are attached to the DNA, the methyl groups, and they can reduce gene activity. You have histone modification, which is another mechanism where you have DNA is wrapped around proteins, which are called histones, and these have chemical changes that can make the DNA more open or more tightly packed, which affects the gene access. And then the other two are chromatin remodeling, which is basically the physical arrangement of the DNA inside the nucleus, which again makes genes either easier or harder to read. And then you also have some non-coding RNA regulation. regulation, but those are the four main mechanisms by which epigenetics work.
Does it change the gene?
Thank you.
So the DNA sequence doesn't change.
Everybody else gotta have a conversation. I never said, what are you talking about, you fucking moron? I never said that. I kept
No, Lima was correct. That's exactly what she said.
So specifically, what is the claim in the Holocaust situation for the maternal for the mothers when they pass? What specifically are they passing down inside of the gene?
They're not passing around change gene.
I'm not talking to you, Alvaro. I'm not talking to you. You couldn't even tell me the difference between a gene and epigenetic mark. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Euro. I'm talking about the methylation, the chemical tags. I want him to answer. He knows a lot more about it than.
All right, go on, answer.
You cannot inherit
Go ahead, Drew.
I mean, this is kind of a difficult and nuanced question to answer. So it's possible that some epigenetic marks can be passed down, but it's much more limited than people usually think. So, you have the DNA sequence, which is clearly passed from parent to child. The epigenetic inheritance is a gene regulation that can be passed on without changing, but I don't really know if I should say really more than that.
It's stress hormones, you're right.
How does it really?
The point is, some stuff can be passed down.
It's stress hormones, yes. Stress hormones, yes. From the mother to the child, yes.
Epigenetics is an entirely new layer of how we understand genes, right? And that's what I was trying to explain. You have your genes. That's not what's going to change. As I explained, actually, the cookbook scenario was a actually good analogy. Okay, so you have your cookbook, and then you have your recipes, but then you have the instructions on how much, and so the recipes are the genes. Those aren't going to change. The recipe, that same exact recipe, is going to be passed out to every cookbook that you make. But epigenetics is the extra layer to say how much of that recipe you use, and that is when the methylation comes in. That's where the stress hormones comes in. That's when the inflammation comes in. They just did another study with Syrian refugees, and it's uncharted territory, but they proved again that it can be passed down, and that's just the way that it is.
No.
Yeah, the only thing is you just got to be a little bit careful. So, like in plants, for instance, the epigenetic inheritance is very stable and it's common. In animal experience, we have some mixed results. They do produce the heritable epigenetic changes, but there's a lot of uncertainty in terms of the durability and the mechanism. So that's why I want to say it's just be careful. So I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but there is a tendency by a lot of people to overstate the claims, and who knows? We're always getting more data on this.
Trauma, which is bullshit.
I put it in the chat. We have a gene that is affected. If I could read, I literally.
This is all about generational
Oh
trauma.
my god! Like the NR, the NR.
So, Bima, you were correct.
Yes, she was. Can I explain how she was, please?
Did you say the ERs?
No, I was trying to finish speaking, but I got muted.
You said ERs.
I know if I just finish speaking because crack and alcohol domination is honestly true.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. It's very, very nuanced. What happens is the epigenetic information can be inherited, but in humans, most of these epigenetic marks are reset. So the question of stable inheritance across generations, we believe it is more the exception than the rule.
That's not true. The NR3C1 is literally the rule, which controls how the body responds to cortisol. This is literally the most
I'm talking about the stability of the epigenetic. changes over generations. So I'm not saying that the basis is where all is, but generally speaking, epigenetic changes that reset.
We're just talking about one generation. We're just talking about one. Just being passed down from the mother to the child. Just one. We're not talking about 30 fucking generations. We're talking about one.
You can't pass trauma to the next generation.
Yes, you can.
Oh my God, bro.
If you're stressed while you're burying.
Why don't we ask Euro, can it be passed down one generation trauma? I don't want to get more specific than what I said because it's very nuanced. I said what my understanding of the current science is. Apparently people here are interpreting it different ways. They're making shit up. That's what they're doing.
Making shit up? Are you guys okay?
It's not passing generation.
Do you guys even know cortisol and what that the stress hormone? Do you guys believe that's real? Can we at least admit that's real?
It's magical fairy.
Or is, yeah, we're not just little fairies in here, like we're not like just dreaming. But
It's magical fairy.
Stress hormone is real. The fetus is real, right?
Generational trauma.
The fetus is real, right? The baby's real, right?
It is real.
Whatever the mother does, and literally influences the fetus, correct?
While she's
what she does.
baby?
Yes, exactly, right?
Yeah,
And then what happens when she gives birth to that baby?
No, Pockets, you just want to explain your own trauma and shit on your parents.
I don't even know that much.
Explain your own trauma.
It's small, and that's why you have this big ego on the side. Shut up, bitch.
Trauma from
I've never told me I said
Yeah, shut up, little dick.
There's no thing here, little boy.
Little dick boy, don't care about some.
It's like
Yeah, go jack off and Xfinity remote.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Bitch. You fucking
yo, the way you say bitch makes it sound
poorly with her child, and the child will have to be
That's wrong, bitch.
But no, it is very true that you can't pass it down to the child.
So I put a link into the chat.
It's called stress hormone. It's a real fucking.
So I put a link.
That's not generational trauma or epigenetics. That's something else.
No, the stress hormone is the epigenetic factor. Oh, bro.
You don't know what epigenetic means.
Okay, I don't know what epigenetic means.
It's not gonna help the postpartum with Pockets every.
One mic on Euro, please.
In any case, if it helps anyone, I did post a link in the chat to a scoping review of evidence for intergenerational epidemic of transmission of stress and trauma in humans.
Articles
They
like
discuss
that.
the
I
issue.
can pull them up. Thank you for the link in your survey.
So Euro, are you willing to go on record and say that Big was correct?
Well, I think if you read the study, that speaks for itself.
Beamer, you're correct. It really says Beamer is correct.
The study is not a blanket over research.
Neither was Beamer's statement.
I think Anthony, I would like for Anthony, because this just doesn't mean, I mean, we could look through the intergenerational trauma, sure we could talk about that, but this is also huge for us as individuals to understand our own epigenetic expressions, right? And yeah, anyway, but there's a study, I just found it last year, okay, and they did it with the same, they kind of repeated the Holocaust situation, but it was with Syrian survivors of war, and they did the same thing. And so, yeah, I think this is a newly charted territory, but I think the more that we learn, it's going to be interesting. There's so much still that we have to learn. And I think that everyone should get a gene test and know how your body methylates, because you're going to know a little bit more of what to put into your body specifically and exactly, and what your body produces less of and what you need, what you do. Yeah, you learn that the directions of how your body is operating. And that's, I think. You remember people when people were saying that if it's not an animal, if they eat like that, it actually produces hormones when it dies.
What is that?
When it dies, people are literally saying that.
What is says it that you will respond to trauma. There's no indication in that article that it's passed to the next generation. It'd be interesting to look into it.
I literally have it right in front of me.
Point of order, moderator. Point of order. Madam Diva, this is gold. I'd like to say that.
No intergenerational trauma.
I'd like to say that Bima's advice of getting genetic testing. I'd like. Hello?
We can't hear you. John, your phone's messed up.
Yes, turn the volume down if you worry that the noise is interrupting your reading if you can't concentrate.
That is true.
Well, I mean, how could you listen?
Or you can just leave the app, go read it, and then come back.
You keep saying no one has the proof.
Click on the link, then close the Clubhouse app,
Okay.
go read it,
So
and
this is
come
how
back.
it works. When a person experiences intense stress or trauma, certain genes related to stress response can be chemically modified. For example, through DNA, methylation. These modifications don't change the DNA itself, but they can alter genes how they are expressed, making the stress response stronger or more sensitive. Research suggests that these epigenetics changes can be passed down from mother to a child, especially through pregnancy. For example, if a mother experiences severe trauma or chronic stress while pregnant, the developing baby can inherit changes in stress response genes.